Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of This and That podcast, live from Global Productions. Our guest today, we have the all day exclusive podcast edition with my man, All Day DMK,
Yo, what's
in,
good? What's good?
in the building. You already know that. Welcome. We got the This and
Happy to
That
be
crew
here.
up in this bitch. You already know. We got Demon King.
Your
We got Ego the Prince.
mm,
And we got Genie the Meanie Ja
It's your girl.
in the building. It's popping. I'm just gonna share the stream real quick since we're live, and then we're gonna get to it because you know how we do. What's goody though? DMK, welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Representing Cleveland, Ohio. Right?
Close enough. Close enough. Small town, a little ways away, but it's all good. That's
Same
pretty
thing.
much the place I rep. Yep, same shit.
You already know, man.
Mommy, when I wear the black hat.
Alrighty. I share the stream. Thank y'all who are tuning in, who are about to tune in, who have tuned in. Appreciate y'all. Also, I want to give a shout out to Budweiser, King of Beer. So we're sipping on today. Also, Johnny Walker, the Red Label. Go to your local liquor stores and get that. Spotify, also, we're in the building. Thank y'all for pushing it. Global Productions. Well, my man A. Jizzle at, son. This motherfucker crazy. Shout out to GEW. It's been MIA for a minute. But we get it real life first. Always. And I'm done sharing. So let's get it popping. All Day DMK. Let us know where you from and what EFED you coming out from and where you represent. I know you're basically in all EFEDs. You're right now in the Global Production Studio. This is GW Wrestling Fight Club.
Yeah. So the main place to say I rep, it's this up and coming one with me and my boy. It's called ASW. It's pretty much now where my main focus is. I'm also part of KCW. My people across the ocean, PWK as well. Great shows there. As you said at the beginning, I'm from Ohio, right on the outskirts of Cleveland.
Yes, sir. ASW. Shout out to ASW Hitman Gaming. I see you. So basically ASWs. How long you been EFEDing? Like,
So I actually started off in PvP back in it was like 2K15.
2K15.
Okay. I started off in PvP. I like the play style more then. I switched to AI versus AI 2K19, 2K20, something like that after they changed the whole aspect of the game with like the chain movements and stuff like that. It just seemed kind of choppy and not as great as what it used to be. So I figured I'd extend out, do something different as long as I stay in the community of wrestling and gaming and stuff like that. I figure why not have some fun?
Facts. So that's so touching on that. Like that's mainly the first question right here. So what inspired you to do this? Because I'm gonna tell you real quick. What got me into this EFED thing was WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, WCW and NWO Revenge. You know what I mean? Like that's what inspired me to do this because I was like, yo, I want to do that. Like I want to be in the game as myself, you know. But go ahead. What
Well,
inspired you to
what
do
got
it?
me inspired is I've always had kind of a creative mindset. I was like making my own things, doing my own things. And one of my first video games I can remember playing was one of the WCW games back on maybe the Dreamcast or something like that.
True.
And
I
I
remember
just
I know what you're talking about. I think it's called like barricade or some shit like that. So some shit weird would it be?
it was one of them. I don't remember, and I just
arcade, some shit. I don't know.
and that actually was my first experience with wrestling, was the video game, not even like the show. And as soon as I got done playing that, I started looking for different things that involved wrestling, and that's what like grew my love for professional wrestling and everything else around that, gaming with it. And as I got older, all I did was get the newest wrestling game, play it, do my creating, do everything else. I've always had that creative aspect. And as I was growing up, I was actually getting ready to start training in professional wrestling, but with other sports and everything that I was doing, I actually got hurt. Couldn't be a part of it no more in the physical aspect. So when I found EFEDs, specifically PvP and stuff like that, I'm like, I can still do my craft the way I know how I can do it, with promoting my creative aspect, like making my own gear on the game, stuff like that. And
Nice.
I was still able to be like me, my persona, my just embodiment in something, and still have that drive and that love for it.
It's like, you know what? Like, I can't do it like this, but I'm gonna do it like that. Like, I get it.
Exactly. It's like when one door closes, another door opens, and for that, it was the gaming community, something I was still heavily involved in, something I always loved even as a kid. And it put two of my favorite things together, wrestling and gaming, and being able to be me and show people my craft, whether you love me or hate me or in between, didn't matter to me. As long as I was being the real me, that's all I cared about doing.
Facts. So basically, you made a character and you ran with it. Like, fuck it, hate it or love it. This is what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I put a lot of personal aspects into the character.
Facts.
There's a select few people who really know deep down what it truly means. Like, I get asked all the time, what does DMK even stand for? Anything like that. It's like, it goes deeper than the game itself. It's me. Like, there's a reason why those three letters are that.
Copy. Tell everybody who's listening, three meanings of the letters. I mean, the letters, the meaning of the three letters. Hear this?
Well, this is like my first time actually expressing to a generalized public. So I'm in the process of a name change.
Yeah.
I don't associate with my family as much, especially the side that actually is my last name, which I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep my actual last name away from the public views. I don't disclose that kind of stuff that much.
Of course.
But the last name is a Irish name, so it's got like Mick in front of it, and it's gonna have a K. So there's the MK, and my son's first name starts with D. So in a sense, it's the capitalization of the M and the K in the Irish last name, and my son's initial of my first name to DMK.
Oh yeah.
So that's where the ideology of DMK originated from, was the biggest part of me, which is my son, and the transition of who I was to who I'm going to be with my new last name.
Copy. There we go. So give us the rundown on like your main call. Like where does is this the same one that you started with in the WCW shit that you was talking about, or this is the one that 2K15 was like, that's it, switching, like once I did PvP, this is the one I'm going with from now on, this is my main character, or you have multiple characters because you are a creator, so you're entitled to have dozens of
so DMK is like my main character. Yes, I do have a lot of extras, but those are mainly creations to help out the community rather than just myself, like giving people roster space when they're just up and coming and they're trying to get more and more people in. Like, so yeah, with me being a creator, they see my stuff, they love it, they ask, hey, do you want to be a part of this? I'm like, sure, but I'm not 100% affiliated. I'll still be in the chats, I'll still be a part of it, so I'm not going to use my main guy, but if you like these people, sure, why not? But but
speaking about that, right? So not to like cut off the rest, but like
Well, you're good.
real quick. When it comes to creations and creator things like that, you said is up for grabs. Like you may not be active in certain chats or whatever because they have certain characters of yours, but they don't have your main one, which is the one that you out here doing promos for. You're out here promoting as like, yo, I'm the best in the world type shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm still active in the chats, but not like as like involved as I should be, mainly because it's like I either make these characters for other people to enjoy, I just make them for fun. It's like, yeah, sure, why not? But like people say that I take some things too seriously, which I do and I don't in the same instance. It's like if you have one of my
define that. Yeah, like define how you take it, what's personal and what's not. Like
so what's personal to me is I always say this when, because it's a video game at the end of the day. That part's not the like important aspect of things. It's when you've put yourself into a situation with like creating, like anyone who knows that does creating, whether it be professionally like I do, because I am a content creator, I do commission work, I do stuff like that.
Dope.
It takes hours. And it's like when you hear people shitting on your craft or saying you're not good, stuff like that, like
oh yeah.
It's like you're telling me
it took me a week to make my guy. So
yeah, when the newest game first came out, it took me 3 weeks to get exactly how I wanted DMK to be, because I put so much of myself, and it's like when it comes to the matches, that's not a big deal. When it comes to the way you're booked or whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's like when I do promos, when I'm making my character, when I'm doing that, like that's the aspect of what's real to me and what matters to me is like, because when I promo, it's as if you hand the mic to me, not the character, but to me. And like, this is what I have to say.
no. Yeah.
And
I know some people like that too.
And that's exactly where I got the nickname from. And I'm not sure if we're going to ask me about that or what, because
of course, shoot, go ahead and shoot it. I mean, now that you're exposing it, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Because the phrase "All Day DMK," yes, it's catchy. Yes, it would make a great T-shirt. It rhymes.
It's bigger than that. Yep.
Yeah,
it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that. So like when I got hurt and I started this whole EFED stuff, I had a lot of time in my hands. I couldn't work because half the time I couldn't walk. I couldn't use one of my arms for a while. I had a lot of time in my hands, and being able to do my promo work still, people would go back and forth with me for hours, and it would take breaks, and then it would transition to the next day and the next day. And one time someone asked me, "Are you just going to do this all day?" My simple response was probably. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, all day, definitely. Like, that's a trademark. That's not just a nickname. That's like a legacy to who I can be and who I am, because it's like people seen it. For people that know who I am in the EFED world, they know I'll sit there and I'll promo for hours and hours and hours and not get bored. And I'll always have something new to say. And that's where it comes to all day, is it's not a repeated cycle with what I'm going to say. It's always something new, no matter what. That's so like, yeah, you asked me if I can do this all day. You're damn right I can.
Captain America, baby.
Yeah, I'd give him a run for his money.
That's just gonna go over people's heads, the Captain America thing, because that's actually his
catchphrase. I can do this all day.
Yeah,
but there's like with the DMK character, dude, it is like the world's finest cake. You will find layer upon layer upon layer, and it's always something different.
So you constantly like update your call all day, like
daily, like, weekly,
all day updating.
Well, that goes along with the aspect of I'm always doing something new. Like it's never the same. Maybe my color schemes are the same, but it's always something different. It's like I want people to be like wowed by what I can do, not just for personal aspect, but like influence. Like if this dude can create this kind of stuff on a weekly basis and show new stuff, new content, it's like I can do that too. I'm not just a me person. I like to be a people person too. I help people out a lot. I reach out to them if they need help. With the people that really can't do it, it's like I want to be more than just me. I want to be an influence.
Dope. That's dope that you help people out too with that. Because a lot of people, they like, I'm not saying that they garbage and shit, but like they need help, and they think that those are the same people that talk shit about like dope creators. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And they're the ones
Because
that need the most help when it
because
comes
people hate
to
what they can't have or they can't do.
exactly, exactly.
It's like the same thing in the real world. You see someone driving your favorite car, you don't even know who this person is. You're going to immediately hate them because they have what you can't have.
Exactly. If I see, tell you the truth, I'm the opposite of that though. Because if I see somebody on some like, yo, he got like a Lamborghini and he just pulls up next to me on some shit like that, depending on his like his actions, like if he just stopped at the light and just like, you know, like gives me the nod, I'll be like, wow, that's a dope car, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like good shit. But
Yep.
if you want some like sucker shit, like, yeah, what you looking at, motherfucker? You know, then that's
Rubbing
also
the
like,
engine at
man,
you,
fuck you
trying
in
to
your
sit
car.
there.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like it's all about perspective with people, and like it's either one or the other, especially in the EFED world. It's either you're there for the love of it or you're there just to be just an ass about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
And people think I'm there to be an ass about it, but that's just like that's me just being who I set my character out to be. I say from the get-go, no matter where I go, never take anything personal with me because that'll be like your biggest mistake because I don't care. Like I care about who I am, who my character is, and what I do to give him up. But like if someone hates me for what I do, man, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah, man. Gotta have that leather skin out there, bro. Like I
Exactly.
as long as you ain't talking personal shit when it comes down to this, like when I do promos and when I do all that shit, I'm talking shit like competitively. Like I'm trying to like prove that I'm better than everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to say like go fuck your mother, go fuck yourself and your whole family type shit. You know, like I'm not saying shit like that. When I say if I say some shit like, oh, I'm gonna uh I'll make sure your family lays next to you sleeping or some shit like taking a dirt nap. I don't mean your real family. I mean like your family that comes from your faction or your crew. You get what I'm saying? Or people I see you
Exactly.
team up with. I'm not talking about like your actual, you know what I mean? Like so
Yeah.
basically don't do it to me because I'm not doing that to you. And when I'm talking shit as of as like you know I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm not talking shit where like yo I'm calling you a bitch or I'm calling you a pussy or telling you to go suck a dick. You know I'm not telling you disrespectful shit like that. I'm straight telling you straight like yo I'm gonna punch you in the mouth and I'm gonna make you bleed or some I'll just say whatever comes to mind at the time that I'm dropping a promo and I'm doing the trash talking. I'm not talking shit
Exactly.
where it's gonna go personal. You know what I mean? A lot of people get that twisted. A lot of people don't have to like they can't take it. You know what I mean?
It's like they don't have that like barrier between characters and reality half the time.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. And it's sad because we're trying to have fun. So why if I'm trying to have fun with you and like the moment I see somebody call me a bitch or a pussy, I already know I won. Because like I'm like, oh, okay. He's tight. Like, oh, he mad now. You get it? So
Exactly. It's like
I
it's
won. I'm in his head. I'm rent free. That's it. Get
it
it.
start
Get
it
it
starts with
go.
like a mental thing, because it's like it's just like if because I always have the saying, like, the people that take it way too seriously, they act like they actually did something. Yep, they forget it's an AI system. It is a complete random generated
We have no
program.
control over it at
And I
all.
always and I always tell them the only narrative I care about is my own. And the only thing that I can have control of is my voice. If I can out promo you 10 out of 10 and you maybe get a win or two off of me as a character, great. But guess what? I've already beaten you because you cannot beat me yourself. You focus on the things we can't control.
Yes, sir.
100%. I see you out there in the chat talking. Yeah, no, but 100%. It's like, dude, like cut it out. Like you mad? Don't be mad. I'm the best. I'm the best in the world. I do this. It takes me a
I'm
week
the
literally
best
to make
ever.
my.
I'm Alexander. Alexander.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
But
feel me though?
but
It's like
it's like when I
say
sit
again.
there and I promo my stuff and I call people out saying I'm better than them, stuff like that. It's like another aspect that is, again, is like my creative aspect of it. It's like you find some images on Google search or whatever, and you just slap it on your person and you want to sit there and that's what you want to praise. Great. You don't know what greatness is. And I'm not trying to be narcissistic or an asshole about this. It's like, you don't know what it's like to seriously put all that time and effort in, spending days, weeks. Like, the game's been out for months and I'm still honing my craft, trying to do better each time I upload whatever I'm uploading.
100%.
It's
That's
like,
why you
if
can't
you
rush it. Sometimes I be feeling like, you know what? Fuck it. I got to get it out there ready. I want and I forget one thing and then you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot one thing. And that one little thing you forget is like something major because it fucks up the whole thing. You know what I mean? So,
and then it eats at you. It's like, yeah, I did that a couple times and I realized I'm never doing that again. So I save it constantly, even if I'm not finished, if I have to go back to it, if I'm getting frustrated, no matter what I'm doing, it's like I'm making sure that everything is exactly how I want, because if I'm, and it goes along with me being a commission content creator. It's like, if someone sees my stuff and it doesn't look finished, they're not going to want to come to me for my work.
Yeah, they're not gonna invest in you. Of course not. 100%.
Yeah, and it's like, people have already spent the money for this game. Some have spent money for the DLCs, whatever it is. It's like, if they're spending their hard-earned money on my work, or just my work alone, just for myself, I'm making sure every aspect to the minute detail is exactly what I want or what that person sent me.
Yes, sir.
So before anyone wants to try and sit there and claim that they're this, they're that, it's like, take a step back, realize who you are, and realize what you're actually doing for the community and yourself and who you were portraying as before you want to make any types of those claims.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. So, rebounding off that, right? And this is another question. This is what's your how you say it? What's your biggest what was your biggest challenge when it comes to creating? Because my challenge is I can't make arenas, or I can't make a female call. You know what I mean? I can make her moves, all that shit. That's nothing. But I can't make the look and the attire to make it look like
Right.
that's authentic.
So for the longest time, my biggest challenge with creating wise was female face scans and making it look like a legit female face, because again, I'm trying to make sure everyone is pleased with the work I do, whether it's just them seeing my own creation or something for them. And it's like, I don't want to insult any female with the way a face looks. If it looks deformed, looks more masculine than it should be, stuff like that. It was like fine tuning the feminine aspects of the face to make it look unique and actually ideal.
Don't have the bitch looking like Tiffany Stratton and shit.
Yeah, it's like, because for the longest time, I didn't really do female creations because I just portrayed my single character for the longest time. So I never had to focus on that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't up until I think just this last year's game that I actually started making female wrestlers. So it's been...
How many female wrestlers have you created already?
In general, or just this game,
to date, in general, to date.
I think out of all of them, I've made 10 female wrestlers.
10 different attires on all.
Different attire. Oh, everything I do is unique. Nothing is the same face scan. Nothing is the same logo. Nothing is duplicated. Everything that I put on one person will never be on another unless it is a tag team.
Say less. I hear that.
So you have people like that. I've created 50 wrestlers. Okay, cool. They all have the same tattoos. They all download the same tattoos off of the community creations, the same logos off community creations, the same face scans off community creations. I edit my own tattoos. I make my own tattoos. If I need to, I draw my own tattoos. I never really try to find anything on CC.
You draw your own shit. How'd you get them onto the CC platform where you can put them on your call?
So I have multiple photo editing apps. I have because
you draw basically on an app. or you
Yeah.
basically you're drawing on like okay.
And I do sometimes use the AI generated stuff, but it's only for specific things like placements and maybe like a color scheme or something I'm trying to think of that I can't do myself. But I never just copy and paste. I always, whether it's crop one image out of 10 different images and place it together to make one single image. I always call people like this copy and pasters, not actual creators. Because they will say, oh, look at that nice tattoo on there. Okay, I'm going to take that off on Google or whatever it is. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to put it on my dude. And like the skin tones don't match. It looks like someone used an airbrush on them and just spray painted on them. It's different apps. Like on my phone alone, not my PC, not my laptop, not my tablet, just my phone alone. I have 6 different apps that I use just for logo making.
That's dope.
I probably have a total of, I would say maybe 21 or 22 different apps, programs, everything to make my logos, and then obviously save them as an image on my files, and then I go into the
And make sure you everybody understands too. Make sure y'all go follow All Day DMK. And watch out.
Sorry, I just had a my power just flickered. It's kind of storming here, so it's fine now. I got it figured out. But yeah, so use all those programs, save them as images, whether I send them to my email, to my phone, and I upload them from my phone, or pretty much that's how I do it. The apps to the final production, save it as a file, email it to myself, upload it, and put it on my character.
Gotcha. Yeah, because these logos are like authentic too. Like the DBD King of Violence shit that I got, I put it on my tie and shit. Like from now on, I learned from 2K22. Actually, Ego the Prince could tell you a lot about that. He'll tell you, like, people go out there, man, they just grab your shit without no fucking pause. They grab your core by like out of nowhere and shit, and people just use them, and you don't even know you're being used somewhere, and they don't even know why you're using them. Like, you don't even know how you being used, because they can have you over there as a jobber or somebody as just to steal your attire and shit. You know what I mean? Like something that you worked hard for and shit. And so that's why I get when you guys update, when y'all upload, and then you're just like, oh, you got them? All right, so then I'm taking them off the thing, because I get that now. And that's shout out to you good creators out there who go on that.
See, what I do is, like I said, I have multiple creations. I'm always updating, even DMK himself. With that, you'll see, like on my communications page, you'll see a bunch of them, but they're old attires, because it's like I've already used those for 2 or 3 months. I don't need those anymore. If people want to take my old shit and try to claim it as theirs, good for them, because I've got something 10 steps ahead of what I've already made.
Gotcha. Yeah, but you gotta still be a little bit stingy, like Ego is. So Ego's like, nah, you got him already? He's downloaded. You got him? Right,
nah, what I did this year, I let it all out. If you go to my page, everything's out there. But I said it. This is gonna be the last year I'm doing that. This is the last year.
Demon does that too.
But the thing is, with my creation, at least DMK, people know who that name is associated with.
Yeah, nah, of course. You know that here. You know that here.
You can go to any Fed and you type in and you just say, does anyone know DMK? 9 out of 10 of those Feds are going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
No,
I like it.
Saying, I mean, the reason why people do stuff like that is because, like you said, man, motherfuckers go and steal your shit, and next thing you know, you're like, it's like, the fuck?
Next thing you know, you're out. Your son is out there. You don't even know you have a son. You know.
Yeah, with me though, it's one of those things. Like for me, imitation is the best form of flattery. If you want to pretend to be me, great. But no one can do me like me. You're never gonna be me.
Facts.
I call them fans. I
was about to say, man, what you call them? Ego? You know what I'm saying?
Fans, man. That's all it is. I say, when we was kids and we used to watch The Rock or Stone Cold, I want to be like them. So when you see your call and you see somebody dressing like you, you know that when they saw you, they're like, yo, I want to be that guy. So just take it as their fans, bro.
it's like the epitome of that old show, like Mike. You know, people want to be you, so they're going to do everything they can to be like you.
Yeah.
It's like great, but when it comes down to it, there ain't nobody else that can be me better than me. Good luck. I praise you for your attempts, but sit down.
You know,
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, man, my creations, I mean, they came a long ways from when I started, though. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause when I first started, I was like, ooh, damn.
But what's funny is when I was doing PvP, I had my first experience in my first like month of doing it, which cracked me up because I was doing a masked wrestler to reveal who it was going to be, and that's how I actually got my start as a masked wrestler. And some people know who this guy is, some people don't. The TNA gimmick of Suicide.
Yeah.
I did a version of that. I did a version of that where it was black and lime green, and I called him Genocide. Out of nowhere, a buddy of mine hit me up with some screenshots saying this dude's claiming that, you know, it's his character, this, that, and the other. And it's funny is I had to embarrass him in like 2 different feds because he was using them in 2 different ones. We had a match. Whoever wins gets the claim of that character. But me and him had in private discussion. I'm like, tell you what, man, I beat you. You have to admit to everybody that you're nothing but a cheater. You're nothing but a scam artist. That wasn't yours. All this, that, and the other. And this isn't something that is known in like AI feds, but there's a thing in PvP, or at least there was. It was called getting green barred. It pretty much means that your health stayed in the green the whole entire time, and no one could do enough damage to you.
Yeah.
This dude got 2 reversals out on me in the whole match and no actual offense. So he had to sit there and actually make a live thing stating that he stole everything from me and that wasn't his character, and he got blacklisted for it.
That's what I'll be telling some of these guys, like y'all was saying earlier with the whole AI, like we don't got control over it. But some of them, they be talking crazy. I'm like, yo, just pull up to the PvP. Like, you know, some of us actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
But like most of the time, they be like, nah. So you gotta let them talk, man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the moment that they say no to any type of call out that you can actually do yourself, not AI, because if you do those kind of call outs, people know how to manipulate the game with like certain moves and stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, great, your person beat me, but guess what? You actually didn't beat me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of shit. That might be another one of those I get too real with, because it's like, you don't want to see someone trying to take your credit.
That's very true.
Nothing but a bunch of jealous fanboys at that point.
You go say they fans, buddy.
But yeah.
So, how many claws do you have all together?
Whew. I gotta think, because a few of them are duplicates. I think I'm up to about 47 on the game.
Yeah.
In EFEDs, I think I have 10 of those. The other ones are just for like when I do GM mode or my own shit that I just do for fun.
Okay.
And some of them are tag teams. So like, but yeah, my main focus are like the 3 or 4 that I have in a lot of feds, which are like 3 male and a female. And that's Tommy Black, which is an ASW exclusive for my boy Hitman. DMK, which is like everywhere that you can find. he's out there. And then his female like counterpart, Gracie Gloss, who is a new creation from last year that I really fell in love with the design of who she was. And I'm like, okay, well, she's actually the reason why I'm focused so hard on like making female face cams and female creations better, is because I'm like, I fell in love with this creation, not like in a weird way, but I'm saying like I loved making it so much that
you gotta make sure you understood that. Yeah,
some of these people, you know, I see movies are like,
he's a perfectionist.
Yeah, in a sense. You know,
can I ask you what year you started? Like as far as game wise, what was the game that put you on the map?
In like Online or just in general?
Like no, we're creating with like DMK and the like. What game you decide like yo this is because I know some people start like in No Mercy that they do like creations, but I'm saying like
That's where I
for me
started.
what started Ego was 2011 game because I usually create multiple characters, but since that's the one game I didn't have and my cousin had it, he was like, yo, you can't make multiple characters. So I had to kind of like put all the characters in one. So that's what I kind of born the creation of Ego. What was what was the game that made the birth DMK?
2K15, I think, is what birthed the idea of DMK. Before him, I've always been a fan of the darker characters. Like Kane was one of my first ever favorites. Sting, people like that.
Which thing?
Oh, I'm the
Crow,
like black and white, the Crow
okay,
version.
Gotcha.
And people like them, and then it was kind of also a mix of people like Jeff Hardy, RVD, Sabu, like the just high flying. So I mixed a lot of those characters up.
I feel you.
So like my creating, I guess, like since I can remember, I couldn't even tell you the first game I actually started creating stuff. But getting into the perfectionist standpoint probably had to be 2K14 or 2K15 is when like my creating aspect of everything really took off.
So now that we're touching on that, so you basically stay on one division, or you all around? Like some people create, like Ego, like Ego, to say there's some impressive shit during the years he's been EFEDing. He started also as a cruiserweight, like on some Rey Mysterio shit, and then little by little, as games kept going, he became like a light heavyweight, basically, and he stood there type shit.
I'm at like Shawn Michaels type Seth Rollins
exactly.
now.
So
I started off as Rey Mysterio with the mask. Sorry, I got my mic muted because I got noise in the back.
No, you're good. Don't worry about
good.
it. I'm just,
So he never was a cruiserweight because I have a specific cruiserweight call that I use. His name's Johnny 13. He's still that embodiment of that darker but very like eccentric, high flying, extreme rules type character. So I kept him in that aspect. But DMK has always been one of those light heavyweight to heavyweights. Just kind of depending. Like I really show reality in it. Like you're never always going to be the same. And he stayed as a light heavyweight until I took a break a few months back. And when I came back, he became a light heavyweight a heavyweight because the influence kind of came with all these actual wrestlers that would take months to a year off and they would just come back jacked, like Randy Orton or AJ Styles. And I'm like, new moves are coming out each year. There's always new stuff. So I'm like, I'm always trying to adapt and always trying to do new things. So I bumped him up a weight class to heavyweight, but I'm never going to make him like a super and anything like that. And I just made him more real to his character himself.
Gotcha. Because tell you the truth, one of my big downfalls was starting as a heavyweight. I started as a heavyweight, just pure heavyweight. And then I started realizing that I was like, I wanted the heavyweight look, but I wanted to move like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and like these guys. I don't want to move like fucking Braun Strowman or any big fucking douchebag like that.
If you go back and look at season 1 DVD, he was kind of chunky.
Yeah, I was a fat fuck. I was on some fuck it. And I tell you the truth, and that's what I felt. Maybe I felt that was the reason why I was fucking up. Like I was not winning. I was like, yo, these niggas are fucking me up. Everybody's kicking my ass. What's going on here? Then all of a sudden, I did the turn, man. I did the heel turn and forget about it. I became who I am now.
I think light heavyweight when those games is the best way to go because you still have the strength, but you also have a little bit of a speed advantage to the bigger guys, which when 2K25 rolls out, I think I'm going to resort back to the original body structure and look of DMK and go to a light heavyweight, just because I do miss that aspect of like his character and kind of be built more like the older, younger, like AJ Styles or Kenny Omega, stuff like that. Not big and bulky like John Cena or like Batista or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I fucked up with this year too, though. Like I started out as a heavyweight this year.
Yeah, bro.
I was
the only real. Oh my bad.
Like, what? So,
and you dominated last year as what?
Light heavyweight.
Dude, I'm telling you, light heavyweight's the way to go. The only reason I even jumped to heavyweight, along with like coming back after a little hiatus and to make it look kind of real, was a lot of people were manipulating the super heavyweights, and I think 2K finally fixed that a little bit because people were making 6'8", 7 foot, 400 pounds.
Oh man, let's talk about it. Yeah,
giving them high flying moves and shit like that.
That shit was getting me so tight in 2K22 when I saw.
And when you're a light heavyweight or a cruiserweight, you can't do anything. Like you can't control whether they hit strikes or grapples. And if you tried to do a grapple on them, they just threw you aside. And then those were the people that like acted like they were so much better and like, yeah, I'm winning all this, I'm winning all that. It's like, dude, you're manipulating a game mechanic. I
made my name off of those guys. When I came up, I made my name off all those guys. I said, you know what, I'm gonna target them because they bullying everybody. So
I'm gonna keep it 100. I know somebody who's like a super heavyweight, like he's like a real big guy, and he's like a world champ. And once those guys get world titles, I don't think nobody could beat them.
I know a few people like that, and I got no problem calling them out.
Yeah, I don't want to call them out. But
for the respect of your podcast, I mean, I won't. But
you can if you want to. You can. I mean, it's,
okay, that's fine.
It's all day. It's all day exclusive. You know.
And this is me just being real. Like I said, I told you before this podcast, I'm gonna be the real me. I'm gonna say some shit whether they like it or not.
Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
So you don't have to say this is the name of who it is, but I mean, for one, there's a dude that goes by Big Lou.
Okay.
He makes his characters like 6'8", most fucking weight ever, and he's doing nothing but like springboard moves and like the more broken aspect, fast-paced moves and stuff like that. And then he wins some titles here and there, and then he's just like, he acts like he's better than everybody, but in reality, it's just like those are the type of people that really can't hone the creative aspect of it.
Yeah.
They just throw shit together and then they think that they're better than one because they just break the game. It's like there's no fun in the aspect of feds with people like that because they take the reality of it, they take away the creative aspect of it, and all they care about is trying to throw it in someone's face that they don't even know in the real world. Oh my God, my dude just beat you. Yeah, great. You're 6'8", 600 pounds doing a fucking 450 splash that you go halfway across the ring and you could hit you could hit the moon with the way you jump. Like, great. You know how to manipulate.
That was pathetic, bro. When I used to see shit like that from a fucking 500-pounder, I was like, this looks stupid. You had the entrance, you know that I don't know whose entrance that is, but it's like the trampoline shit where they jump. Oh,
Sin Cara.
Oh my God! When I see no fucking fat fuck of 500 pounds with his belly hanging out, do this shit. I was like, what's going on with you niggas, man? You niggas gotta stop this fucking nonsense. Like, you're making this shit corny for me.
I have a claw on my show.
Feel me, man?
Butcher, bro. And this fool's like, he's like, I want to say like 600 pounds. He's a fucking big, fat, fucking like blubby motherfucker. And this motherfucker,
bro,
this motherfucker's flying around the ring like he's fucking
niggas gonna hit you with
or fucking,
yeah, bro. They're gonna hit you with some La Parka shit or fucking, what you call that shit that Billy Kidman used to do?
The shooting star?
The shooting star press. How you 500 pounds and doing a fucking shooting star press?
Bro, I gotta
cut this shit out.
Yeah, it's just shit like that. It's just like, again, it's a game. We're here to have fun, but like, if you're gonna act like an entitled prick because you want to manipulate game mechanics and you're like, oh, I'm the best around. No, dude, do a legit person. Be real about this shit. Like, yeah, we're here to have fun, but also like, if we're trying to make this seem like a legit thing and people are actually streaming and trying to like even make a profit out of it.
I like when we do storylines.
I got something.
Let's hear it.
What's up?
Okay, to refute y'all real quick. I've seen big people like Keith Lee do the moves that you guys have named. So it is realistic to some aspect of seeing a 500 pounder.
You're not
do
gonna
a
see
perfect
Yokozuna do
spot.
that though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's still
But
This is what I'm
Nah, but the
saying.
moves, the
But
moves they
he's like,
talking about is like the double front flip from Ricochet and shit like that. There's
Yeah.
certain moves that they shouldn't be doing.
and it is a game. People should be able to go outside the box with their
Do
creativity.
what you gotta do. I'm just saying it's stupid.
I'm with
You know.
Adon on that. I'm with Adon on that. I mean,
Shout out to
big
that
man doing
Jizzle, man.
splashes. I
You
mean, why
pull up
not?
when you get home, man. It's good to hear your voice once in a while.
I mean, that's the great thing about wrestling and anything in general is everyone's allowed to have their opinions on things. Like me and DVD, we both think it's ridiculous and stupid because
I think
it's not
stupid,
like if you're just having fun with it or whatever, that's great. But when you want to actually go in chats and not act as your character, but just be yourself and act like you fucking did something because you know how to break a game mechanic, it's like that just shows that you don't know how to actually do shit legit. You just want the clout and the popularity, but yet no one's actually rooting for you.
I remember Demon X used to cook motherfuckers with his finisher. It was the demon hand, he used to call it. It's like that uppercut shit with like two hands. And
Yeah.
people used to get upset. They'd be like, "Oh, but I can't block that." I'm like, I seen it get blocked before. What do you mean you can't block that? Like, you know what I mean? So like, what are you hating about? They was like, "Oh, it's a glitch move. I don't like the glitch moves. Shit is gay." It's like, what the fuck is this?
It's
Like,
not a glitch move if it's in the game.
if it's in the game, it's not a glitch move. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
not a glitch move. People. Be
I just
saying
like, you know,
about
I like I look at it as the aspect of like, you see, my finisher is the dominator, right? So my finisher is not even like a finisher where you'd be like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? But like the way like I put my segment like up when he's fighting, like when I have his move set up, that as the finisher makes it like, yo, this motherfucker just put
I'm
hands on
thinking
you,
about bringing that motherfucker back.
broke
though,
you in
dog.
half. You know what I mean? So like the dime dropper, exactly. So like I look at it like that. Like
the necklace.
have an authentic finisher too. Like, you know, like a lot of people don't have authentic finishers. A lot of people have a known finisher that everybody uses.
Everybody,
you know,
yeah, it's like everyone uses the same.
Crossroads, you know, like shit like that. You know, like the RKO's. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's
See,
your
with
main
mine,
finisher though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
with a lot of stuff that I use with mine, it's kind of stuff that I actually used to do when I was training.
Just because you asked me to, hey, Dad, I'm gonna bring it back.
yeah.
Like there was a move that I used for the longest time just because I thought it looked cool, but I'm like, this doesn't resemble the character well. It doesn't fit. And I use what they added the game in this year. It's like called the Cliffhanger DDT or something like that. And that's pretty close
That's
to
the dime drop. That's the hybrid dime dropper.
And that's pretty close to what I do. Like what I used to actually do in training, like when I was, you know, when I was in what town was it? A small town in a small town here in Ohio called Elyria. They have a wrestling school, and when I was training there, I did a variant of that. It was like a butterfly suplex but into a slam. So that was the closest move that I actually have to the game. I'm like, that's my move. And you know, you'll see people doing moves like a signature setup or whatever that targets the legs and then goes for the head for the finisher. It's like the way to, like, in my mind, at least as a creative person and like doing this stuff as like half of my living, is if you're going to be someone like that targets the head and you do something like an ankle lock to finish, it makes no sense. Like if you do a spin kick and then you do like a dragon sleeper, that doesn't make sense.
Didn't we have this conversation yesterday, X?
Yes, we did.
It's like, it's like if your dude who focuses on the body parts, you know, like someone who wants to injure the chest, you know, you're doing a lot of like body punches as like the combo setups and gut busters, backbreakers, stuff like that.
I'm gonna give you guys a little secret of what I do with our shit. When I create my guy, I do it by like, when it comes to like the first top 3 moves, it's like the top 3 parts of your body, like the head, the arms, and then like the stomach, and then the rest will be like legs and submission moves. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I do with my guy. So that's why my guy be kicking everybody's ass and shit, because
you target different parts of the body.
I target different parts.
Yeah, and see, I do the same stuff. It's arms, body, and head.
Hugo broke it down to me yesterday. Like when we were talking about it yesterday, he broke it down to me, and it made more sense to me what he was saying, how to make like your movesets like compatible with your fucking signatures and your finishers. Man,
So you're holding out.
Everything should flow and connect like water.
So you're holding out.
I told you this. I
already know this because I taught you this probably.
Ever since you upgraded that dime dropper to the one with the pin, haven't you been finishing everybody? You can't say we be holding out. Hold on, what he said? I didn't catch that.
Somebody taught you this. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Let's see. Like with all my characters, I start with like I usually do like a pen and paper type thing because I try to get ideas of like how I want to start my person. And what I do first is I come up with my gimmick. After the gimmick, I start with the signatures and finishers. And then I build my moves based around how are those moves going to like elevate into that finisher so it makes sense, so it looks smooth, so it blends and matches the character.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta let it like Eagle said, you gotta let it run like water, boy. Like let it all connect and make it all make sense. You know what I mean? Like you just said too. Like you basically do the same thing that that we're talking about. So reaching out to a different question. When it comes to your gimmick in the EFED world, what's mainly your gimmick? You're like first or you're more like a face or you're more like a heel before anything?
I would consider myself more like an anti-hero than anything else.
Right. Like all right. So one of those
like
I'm heels.
I'm like a bully to the bully.
Gotcha.
Like if someone's getting kicked while they're down, depending on who they are, I'm there to support them. But if you got these people who just are constantly being complete asses, like I'll turn that level up to heel and I'll show them what a true asshole is.
Okay.
But because that's where that divider goes. There are people who literally cannot stand me and will literally say it's not just DMK, but it's the person behind DMK who I can't stand, which to me means I did my job because I stay in character no matter who you are. I don't care if I have a personal grudge against you or
you gotta stay in character till the DVD comes out.
Yeah. And it's like commentary. And that's the thing is like that means I did my job. That means I got you so riled up because you wanted to be an asshole that you now hate me. Good. Now you know what it's like and why I hate people that act like that. But then there's people who do it upon themselves who act like complete assholes, but then when the table's turned on them, they act like they're the victims. And I don't fuck around with those types of people. But if there are like new peoples to the game that don't know how to deal with it, or like, kids. There's like 15, 16-year-olds that are some of these feds, and you got these grown-ass men literally telling them that their creations are shit, or they don't know how to do this shit, that they should just leave, or they don't care. It's like,
petty. Yeah, that's petty.
That's where I flip that switch, and I'm like, I'll be the biggest heel. I won't be a straight-up baby face because I'm too much of that's just not who I am.
I'm a piece of shit to be a baby face.
Yeah, I'm an asshole, and people, that's the perfect word for me is I'm an asshole.
Yeah,
but I'm either going to be an asshole.
We call that a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
I'll either be your favorite asshole or I'll be your worst fucking asshole. Like
for real. Yeah, I hear ya. So like gimmick, what kind of gimmick you're running now? So like your character that because like you said, you could be the anti-hero. What's the gimmick that you're running with? Like
so I run a few things, like a few ideas with my gimmick is, the anti-hero, like technical style, like hard hitting. But as the person himself, I use two like taglines. I use the tagline Soul of a Lion and I use All Day. Because my whole aspect is a quote that I read in a book. It says, there are no pacts between lions and men. It goes along with the all day aspect. It merges together. Well, yeah, it's based off the actual books and everything written by that and where the movie was made from. And it's one of my favorite quotes to this day because that's pretty much my aspect of the gimmick is I don't just say I'm better than someone to be an asshole. I'm the type of person that tries to prove it. And it's like a completely different ballgame.
No, 100%. It's funny that you say that because I like every time, like that's what I base my gimmick off of. like when I come out, when I say some shit like, "Oh, I'm the king of violence," or "bend the knee" and all that shit. Like I'm actually saying that because I put in the work to talk like that. Like if I was on a losing streak and I was like always getting whooped on and shit, then I wouldn't talk like the way I talk. You know what I mean? I'll talk different. Like I'll be on some more humble. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll look for a fight more than I would try to like say, "Yo, please, you know, right?"
And
What,
that's
like a Tommy Jones?
that kind of goes with my thing too, with the Soul of a Lion and with the All Day. It's win or lose. I'm not going to shut up. I'm always going to have that fight in me. I'm always thriving to be better. I'm always thriving to like one up people. I'm always thriving to be the best version of me, not just to be better than you, but being better than who I was yesterday.
Of course.
So like I always have that fight. I always have that burning spirit. I always have that literal lion in a cage ready to break out. It's like when you come to me, whether it's a promo, whether it's creativity, whether it's even AI v AI, the reason I say Soul of a Lion and no packs between lions and men is because you think that I'm stepping in the ring with you. No, you are stepping in a completely different food chain when you're dealing with someone like me. And that's pretty much the aspect of the character is I'm not proven to be better than you. I'm proven to be better than I was yesterday.
100%.
So that's kind of the ideal aspect of it is like the whole gimmick itself. I don't just like put one marker down on, yep, that's my gimmick. I'm the asshole that no one likes, like someone like MGF, or, you know, I'm the eccentric sexualized person like Shawn Michaels used to be and Dolph Ziggler and stuff like that. I'm not, you know, your idol superhero like John Cena or Cody Rhodes nowadays. It's in a sense like evolution in itself is my gimmick because I'm never staying the same. I'm always changing. I'm always thriving to be better. And I'm always trying to be one step ahead of the people behind me.
Gotcha. That's real. I like that. That's a good answer. Speaking on professionals outside the EFED world, who's your favorite? Like what made like who idolize like who's you based all day on? Like All Day DMK, who do you base him on when it comes to like a real professional that's out there right now? Maybe like a Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns,
So
Solo Sikoa. No,
I would say for the aspect of like, I don't know, like the physical embodiment of like my entrance and who he, I guess you could say, be portrayed as, because you know how they say in the wrestling community, there's no such thing as original.
That's true. That is true.
I kind of gave him an LA Knight aspect.
Well, LA Knight's kind of original, but he got like a mixture of two people that I know from the Attitude Era, which
but
you probably
like
already know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah. I would say it's a mixture of like move wise and embodiment, like Kenny Omega, LA Knight, like CM Punk, and maybe like a mixture of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe back in TNA. When it comes to moves, because that's also the way I portrayed myself. Like that, like those are the people I learned from how to promo and stuff like that, and what I wanted to do in the ring myself. And that's why I embodied it to him. Is like those are the type of people that's like, yes, that's who I want to be.
Dope.
So yeah, I would say I like a mixture of those 4 or 5 individuals.
That's dope. That you know, that makes sense. So who's your favorite wrestler right now in this modern era?
WWE or in general?
In general.
Okay.
I watch all type of wrestling, to be honest with you.
So do I. At the moment, I mean, even from when I was a kid, I've always been a huge fan of Samoa Joe, even though right now he's not technically active because he is filming the next 2 seasons of Twisted Metal. But
he's a clown and that shit.
Yep. But Samoa Joe has always been probably my like favorite since I've seen him. Because you know, growing up, I was a bigger dude. Wasn't always the healthiest, stuff like that. And seeing a big dude like that perform the way he did, it was kind of like an eye-opening. Like the only thing that's stopping me is me, and I always try to push through that barrier.
That makes sense. Female, give me a female wrestler that is active right now that you see could be possibly the greatest female wrestler of all time. Because I
Jordan
know
Grace.
one. Ooh, that's it.
Same.
It could be three. There's three. I can give you three. But
Okay. So Jordan Grace, even though right now
and this is
one
this in the order you're giving it to me right now. Pause. The order that you're giving this order. It's just the order, like from one being the best, three being like the last, right?
Okay, so still number one, Jordan Grace in my book, and I've got
Jordan Grace.
I've got enough reasons for that. Even though she is already like at the top with things, being that she's still young, I have to give it to Rhea Ripley.
Okay. Rhea Ripley, of course.
And
I was gonna say Rhea too.
And this may be a curveball, but Tiffany Stratton.
Ooh. You hear this, guys?
Because if you look at her character, you know, people just see the like Paris Hilton gimmick that she's pretty much given. Yeah. But she's got the look of like a late 90s, early 2000s like diva style, you know, like she would have been at the top if she would have been around that point. She's got the charismatic and the energy and even like the skill in the ring to outdo almost anybody right now. Like she's doing things in the ring that aren't like really.
She's like
talented. And she's still honing her craft. She's not even like fully there yet. Yeah, she's still honing her craft.
Yeah, she's nice. She's nice. She reminds me of she reminds me of like she has not that she reminds me of, but she gives like that Trish Stratus, early Trish Stratus vibe, because Trish Stratus was out there like really showing everybody like I'm like the real top notch female wrestler. Like when she wanted to be more than just like the looks, you know, like being in bra and panty matches and shit. And when she had that WWF championship run, she had a decent run with that because she was actually whooping these bitches' asses wrestling though.
Yeah, and honestly, no matter where you would put Tiffany Stratton with the skill set and everything she has, she would have succeeded in any like version of WWE, WWF, just because, again, she's young, she's talented, she's still improving herself to this date. And yeah, it's kind of a stale gimmick, but she makes it work for herself.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that you have to do. Like, you can be given any gimmick, and you can tell there's people who love the gimmick, hate the gimmick, don't believe in themselves. Tiffany is one of those people that I feel like she's just embodying what she's given, and she's doing it perfectly.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, like, if Jade Cargill, because she's terrible in the mic too. Like, I don't know why they got her doing what she's doing right now, but anyway, like, if they can give somebody like Jade Cargill like more moves, first of all, she has the ability to have more moves. But like, I see what you're saying. So real quick, Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair? Before I go further, saying what I'm gonna say.
I mean, for me, that's a hard one because
if she would have been in that era where Charlotte started, what do you think?
I still give it to Tiffany, only because this is no pun intended. Charlotte may have that flair to her, like the corkscrew moonsaults and stuff like that. But I find Tiffany more entertaining because when you give Charlotte a mic, it's always the same spiel over and over again. She could be gone for 9 months, come back, and she's going to say the same exact shit, whether she's a heel or a face. And all she really does is just yell in the mic. There's no evolution in her character or like belief in herself when she talks. And like, don't get me wrong, she's talented in the ring, but in the same instance, it's just I feel like she's more the name than the actual person herself.
Yeah, I agree. She's like, overrated to me. Like, everybody's like, yo, she's the truth. She's the GOAT. I'm like, how is she the GOAT though? Like, how?
She's not. She's constantly getting hurt. She spends more time getting plastic put in her body than she does in the ring. You take away the name Flair, she's going to be put in the mix. She's a Charlotte. There's no
half those titles. Her dad got her half those titles.
Of course,
she didn't deserve any of those. I mean, she did deserve them because again, she is talented, but she wouldn't be. She was
the reason that a lot of people were saying shit that WWF and WWE was racist. Well, WWE because it was WWE, but they were saying they're racist because she was outshining the black girls that that actually have more talent than her, like Bianca Belair, perfect example.
See,
you know what I mean? Like
when we get even though this isn't like my
Wise.
talk, being a white boy or whatever, there's one female black wrestler who I thought did not get the credit that she should have had, because I feel like she outshined so many others, and I feel like she would be up in
Sasha
that list
Banks?
of like.
don't say Sasha Banks though.
No, she is garbage.
Yeah, she is.
Ember Moon or
Yes, I was
whatever she goes by now.
Athena.
Yes, Ember
Athena.
Moon.
Thank you. I knew it was something like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
She, I feel like, is miles above a lot of people. She's got a finisher that is just one of those cannot be replicated because she does it so
I use
perfect.
it, so I know.
Yeah, and the game makes that move look so shit.
it.
The only reason I do not use that move in any of my characters in the game is because the game has made it look so shit. It's so slow and so wonky, but when she does it, it is a work of art.
It's authentic, yeah.
And
Eclipse.
yeah, and I feel like for her, like she would be up there in one of my tops, maybe in my top 10, even possibly top 5. She's just someone that I feel like should have gotten so much more, but never did.
Okay.
On my plate, dude.
So let's keep on with the call. Like you ever been in the EFED or in the EFEDs that you're in active right now, where you've been injured and you've accepted? Well, the EFEDs that you're in, do they accept the injuries? Like if I'm injured right now, like if I get injured, I don't want to update my call just to be back in action next week. I'll take the injury. Even if I update my guy, I'll let you update him, but don't put me into fight unless I'm clear to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you ever faced one of those situations?
So if I'm going through a drastic change in my character, like whether it be a body change, whether it's smaller or bigger, I will wait for something like that, because it takes me at least 2 weeks to put together everything I want. I don't just sit down one day and do it all at once. I take 2-3 weeks tops or so to design my next gimmick, or look, I should say, not gimmick.
Well, it's the same thing, but I get what you're saying.
I will usually wait to see a match that looks like it would put me out, and I would actually ask them, hey, don't book me for the next month, or if I like am on a title run and I finally lose it in a huge match, I'll be like, hey, don't book me for at least 2 weeks to a month. I'll let you know when I'm ready. I'm doing something different. I'm doing something big. Usually they're cool about it.
That's dope.
A couple places I'm in, if you are one of the, like, if you're a person that likes to update your moves all the time, aside from like when the DLC drops, they'll be like, that's fine, but we're not going to book you because you're doing something different to your character. And I actually kind of like that aspect, because it's like, you don't see wrestlers in the real world just pulling out a move out of nowhere and then like changing their whole entire moveset. Like, people
right.
keep elevating their craft, but they're still doing the same stuff you see. You know, you don't see someone changing like the main aspects of their character in the real world unless they're new.
You're right.
So it's like, yeah, if you want to be a change gimmick with your moveset or your look or whatever, yeah, that's fine. But like, you're going to be out for a couple of weeks to a month or so, because we have to make it be reasonable. We have to make it realistic. So I'm cool with it. If and usually it's just me asking to be off. I've never really been put in a position where they tell me, hey, you're going to be injured for such and such reason. But if they did, I'd be cool with it, because again, I can still promo. I can still act like, you know, I'm sitting backstage talking to someone. I'm just not wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I would like for somebody, like if my guy got hurt, I would like the owner of the EFED to be like, even if he has to DM me in private, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people be like, yo, I want you to keep going. You know, I'm not gonna do you dirty like that. But if we're gonna do it like, you know, legitimately, then I'll take the injury. The only thing is, you all right, I'll be injured, but don't book me for like 2 shows. Let's just say, don't book me for 2 shows. And when you do book me again, when I return, you're gonna get a new updated call. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna use my hurt one. You're gonna use a new one with new attire, new moves, and all that shit.
Yeah, the only time I really do any drastic updates is if like I notice something wrong too late, like a base scan that don't fit. Oh, he can talk all the shit he wants. Ain't nobody been able to do that yet.
Big talk. Former champ, King of New York.
Yeah. Well, he's talking about ASW. All he has to remember is I'm the one that gave him a bone to get a title shot in the first place.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Because, you know, in some places you get redeems and stuff like that watching Twitch, and somebody, not going to name names, redeemed for a match that he was in for a title, and he kind of took his glory. And because I was already holding a title, I figure why not throw the dog a bone and let him bite on a different title.
Word up.
The same title that no one's been able to take from me yet.
So Tommy Black is in Fight Club. What do you think of Fight Club, considering that it's not wrestling, but it's basically in the wrestling world and the wrestling environment?
I like it because it's a change of pace.
It's a change of pace. Yep.
People
heard that.
A lot of feds run different sliders, but a lot of them try to run the same shit. So people get used to that. And they build a lot of their moves in their own personal, like, call personality sliders to fit that EFED and to make it work for them. With yours, I've seen is that doesn't work that way. You have to pretty much change the whole different sport, not just the freaking like one or two things. It's a different beast in its own thing. So having something different like that puts people on their toes, makes them actually like watch the program itself and really like learn. Not just say, hey, this works here, here, and here. I'm going to do it here. And it doesn't work.
You're right.
It really keeps things fresh and new.
It won't work for people if they have a wrestling show. Because
exactly
the way the settings are set up. I put the weapons, because it's basically all street fights. So I put the weapons higher than pinfalls. Mm-hmm. So like, even if it's not based on pinfalls, because it's not, but I still put it higher in the settings anyway. So
yeah,
it's going to be all about weapons, you know.
Yeah, people aren't used to that because a lot of people hate this game this year because the weapons aspect of things with like Extreme Rules matches or anything that involves that kind of stuff. The AI seems to tend to draw more to getting weapons than actually continuing the fight. Like, you could be in the middle of the ring completely whooping a dude's ass, and then out of nowhere they're going to stop, roll out to grab a weapon, and then it always screws them. So people aren't used to that change of pace, that change of aspect and stuff like that. So like when you go into a show like yours where it is highly weapons based and they still have their sliders down to like 0 or 15 or 20, you know, rather than being up, they're getting kind of a disadvantage because weapons do more damage, and that's the aspect of the show.
Yep. Yeah, you get it. You understand.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I never go into something half-assed. I always learn the craft before I actually dive in.
Yeah, man. It's like it's different. That's why I try to tell everybody too. Like, don't come expecting to be a wrestling match or none of that shit, because you ain't gonna get no 3 counts. You ain't gonna get none of that. You gonna tap out or you gonna get knocked the fuck out.
And see that's why I gave you Tommy Black apart from anyone else, because he was made to be just a fun.
He's a brawler. Yeah, he's one
just
of those
a fun
guys.
striker, just a dude that is there just to knock someone out rather than get a 1, 2, 3. He's got strikes, he's got grapples, he's got submissions, he's got every single aspect an actual fight would have, rather than just high flying moves or running attacks.
Indeed. How many world championships you have to this day?
World championships, I think I have 3.
Different feds or the same one?
Well, different feds because they're world titles, but titles altogether, I think I just claimed a new one yesterday with DMK. So I think DMK right now holds 11 all fed around.
And all EFEDs?
Yeah, and all the feds I'm in, I hold 11 with DMK himself. Tommy Black, I think, has 2 or 3. My tag team I use, I think, holds 3 or 4 right now, and they actually have probably the collective most I've ever had. At one time, they were holding 8 different tag team titles in different feds. But yeah, I think with DMK himself, I think right now all titles, not just world titles, but like mid cards, tag team, stuff like that, I think he holds 11.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's very impressive, actually.
Recently I claimed the PWK show Inferno, which is the show he's drafted on. I recently just won the world title there. I've been holding their mid card, which is like their version of the hardcore title. I've been holding for a while. I don't think I was the first one, but I know I went through a whole tournament and then the finals to get it. So I've beaten damn near everyone that show has to offer, and I claim both titles on that show. So I am the only singles title holder in the men's division on that show.
Indeed. So you saw when I went to ASW and
Hold up,
I
question.
whooped
So
on
you're kind of
7
like
motherfuckers for that world
you're
title.
kind of like
But
a
go ahead.
pillar in the EFED community, right? Like everybody know your name and stuff. Like you're like
Everybody knows who the All Day DMK is.
And it's kind of mixed between either positive or negative, depending on who you ask. But yeah, I wouldn't personally call myself a pillar, but if that's the thing that they're calling me, shit, I'll stand up tall like one.
Yeah, I heard.
So basically, there's gonna be some EFEDs out there that's gonna be on some fuck All Day DMK, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's plenty of people.
If you don't got
feds.
that, I mean, if you don't got that, then you ain't really doing your job.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm an anti-hero. Not everyone's gonna love me, but you know what? At least everyone knows the name.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
And you know what it is that I like about you? It's like you seem like cool about this shit. You look at it the same way that I look at it, and the way the Demon X looks at it, and the way Ego looks at it. You get what I'm saying? Like you look at it to have fun and be competitive when it comes to your creation. Like don't fuck around and tell me my shit is garbage when in reality, you know, my shit is fire. And like, you know, you remind me of us, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
because for me, it's like you can target any aspect of my character. You know, if I had a bad match because the 2K wants to be 2K and you talk shit about it, great. That's fine. Have fun. But you come targeting me as who I am as a person that made this character, like I'll make you eat those words and you ain't gonna like the taste.
Of course. And you made a couple of female calls, like you said, man. Like that's impressive. I'm telling you, I probably made 2 my entire life as an EFED shit, you know.
Well, Gracie Gloss is my pride and joy when it comes to female creations. I've spent more time on her than any others. She's held multiple world titles, tag team titles, mid card titles. I mean,
yeah, we do storylines over here in GW though. Like I like being a part of the EFED thing when it's based on storylines and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I like to play my gimmick. I only have mainly 2 gimmicks anyway. I have the Reaper shit, and then I have the King of Violence shit. So
yeah, like I love the storyline basis of things because that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to live our lives like vicariously through actual pro wrestlers, and they're all story based driven. You know,
exactly.
you can have someone that does complete shit in singles, right? They jump to tag teams, they get a few tag team wins, and they think they can just challenge the world champ. Like that makes no sense because you've been losing in the singles division, or you have people that just want to run a show to get views, but there's no backbone to their cards. It's all randomized. It's like, why would I fight? Like for instance, I'm not going to name names of a show. I don't want to downgrade.
No, of course, you don't have to. Yeah, just if you feel like you have to, do it. If you don't, you don't have to.
No. Like I'll name drop specific people because that's their person, not their fed that they're representing. But I never try to disrespect feds because some people are still learning. So whether this was a situation where they're learning or they just don't care, they just want to produce a show, I don't know. So I'm not gonna burn that. But being a world champion, you expect to be someone that is facing top competitors, whether they're winning or whether they're just notorious in there and they just fight everybody. Like that's fine. But like when you get placed with someone,
first talk to them.
Yeah, like when you come right in and this is what I hate. And it's not being personal about it. It's not like actually like hate, but it's just annoying. You see these people who, whether it be in one fed or 2 feds or not in any fed, and they're known in just that one spot, and they hit up who's the champ here? I want his title. Like, dude, that's not how it works, man. It's like
does not work like that, ladies and gentlemen.
you don't walk into a wrestling company or anywhere. It's not like that'd be like you getting a job at a like as a in a multi-million-dollar in like a multi-million-dollar place as the janitor, going up to the boss and be like, yo, I want to be your executive. Like, no, it don't work that way, man. You got to climb. You got to be able to taste the dirt before you taste the glory. Like,
of course. That's what I always tell people too when like I go to EFED and shit. Like I always tell them like, yo, I'm here. Y'all know who I am, basically. A lot of people know who I am because I'm in multiple EFEDs and shit. But like I mainly came from one EFED, which is the main one that I'm gonna always rep no matter where I'm at. But so like everybody who knows me, they know that I'm not there just to fight for titles. You get what I'm saying? Like I want to be the world champion of your company when I come to your company. Of course I do. I want to be the champ, but I'm gonna start in the bottom. But
exactly.
Don't put me in the bottom where I'm fighting like bums or people who ain't active or just people that like just to take up the card space. Like
random tag team matches.
Yeah, don't put me in random tag team matches or shit like that either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
because
I want you know what my name is and my name means something. I just don't want you to just go ahead and give me a world title shot. That's what.
I've been on both sides of that double-edged sword where I've got put into places and they're like, you know, we're going to work you in the mix. Great. And then I see myself in like mixed tag team matches with a chick. I don't even know who's the creator or a random dude I'm getting tagged with. And that's all I'm getting is tag matches and mixed man, like in multi-man challenges. I'm like, that's not what I came here to do. Like, you know who I am. You know, I'm all about singles competition. And then on the other side, it's, oh my God, you're actually in our Fed. Great. On your debut, you're going to go for a contendership for the world title. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm happy that you know who I am, and I'm happy that you think I can carry your Fed with who my character is. But no, the fuck you're not. You are not putting me in a world title contendership on my debut. Let me create stories. Let me do what I do best, and that is define who I am. Don't sit there and make me who you want me to be. I can't stand that shit. Both sides of the spectrum.
I feel the same way because I feel like I'm trying to carry a legacy. Don't water down my legacy.
Talk to him.
Yeah,
shout out to A.Jizzle too. He's in the building, by the way. He's just setting up. He's rolling up, I think.
It's like, I know my legacy. Don't put me in no random shit. Let me build myself up so I can be that pillar for your place. I like how one of y'all said pillar earlier, and I'm gonna start using that. But it's like, let me climb that. Don't put me on the top, and definitely don't bear me underneath. Like, I know what I can do. I can create stories with anybody. My cause good enough to where if they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. But it's not going to be that much. I will make it there eventually. But let it happen organically rather than forcing it, because those are the people that people in Feds choose not to like. Is they're like, he just got here. Why is he world champ? And it's not our fault. People know our names and they want to throw us there. It's like, no, let that shit build.
That's that favoritism shit going. That's that favoritism shit, man.
It's like cooking a 5-star dish. You don't just throw the entree on the plate and say it's done. You got to let that shit marinate. You got to let that shit cook. You got to put the right herbs and spices on that shit so it tastes good. Doesn't taste like shit on the plate.
Talk to him.
It's like you throw that shit right out the rip, you're going to go in raw and no one's going to like the taste. You let it sit for too long, though, it's going to burn. And again, no one's going to like the taste. You want people to enjoy your artwork like you are sitting at a 5-star diner and you are taking that first bite.
100%. 100%. What's the word, though? I see you, A.Jizzle. Welcome to the studio, brother.
Thank you.
Oh shit!
As you can see, we're
good, Doc.
We're interviewing the new signee.
I hear. I'm listening. I've been listening.
All day. This is A.Jizzle, CEO, founder, Global Productions, GW, Global Extreme Wrestling.
I guess that's the man I need to talk to because I've been trying to work my way into that place.
Yeah, that's
I've just been I've been busy, man. That's all. Real life first over here, so.
Bro, no.
I'm just trying to find the time, man. Shit's hard, but me and DVD's been talking. We're trying to figure something out. So
that's why I haven't really contacted nobody yet, because me and him have been talking for a hot minute about it, and real life, like you said, real life comes
then,
first. I feel it.
As I was gonna do I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, I was gonna do a show. Fucking corrupted data happened and I lost everything.
Damn.
And I went to re-download and it said I don't have the DLCs and I'm not buying the DLCs again. So
yeah, that shit's...
I contact Steam and shit, but no one answered me yet. So I'm waiting. It's like a waiting game right now. So that's another. Yeah.
I kind of dealt with something like that yesterday, but what I did was just I sacrificed my data and I had to upload my previous saved data from the cloud, which was back in August. So everything from yesterday in August is gone. But I at least got all my shit back.
Crazy.
Shit
But see, that's why I do keep a lot of my updated shit. Whether it, like I would say that my previous update that I made, I keep up because that way I still have the images saved to my phone. All I got to do is just remake my newest update. If I ever lose my data, all my shit's still on a CC. So all I got to do is download it myself, copy it to a fresh template for a call, and then that's how I keep it being able to be downloaded again. Because I don't let my stuff be re-uploaded. So I download it, make a new call, just copy everything straight over.
That's why I didn't stress it for my guy because I have all my versions of my attires in the CC. But like my cousins and stuff that they like to do exclusive attires, all that's gone. So and I haven't even broke the news to them. So when you hear this, yeah, what happened was
that shit's gonna suck. That shit hurts, bro.
Yeah, see, I feel that because I think it was my first U.S. title I made since a buddy of mine who passed, who was in the military. I made a United States attire for him, and it was dedicated to him. And I hated it because people were like calling me a Cody Rhodes knockoff, but I'm like, no, like I literally just lost somebody I cared about deeply.
Oh shit!
And I won my first U.S. title in 2K24, like right before that. And as soon as I got everything ready, everything perfected, I think I did one show with the attire, and my shit got corrupted. And I didn't upload it.
It's fucking 2K, bro.
And it fucking destroyed me because I'm like, I dedicated that attire and everything to my dude because me and him were both wrestling fans. And I'm like, and I didn't even redo it. I did not redo the attire because I'm like, no. I'm like, that was a one-off thing. I wasn't doing it again because it hurt too much when I seen that shit go. I'm like, I can't do it again.
Yeah, man.
That was the only attire I ever made. The only attire I ever made that wasn't like strictly did the gimmick of my dude because it meant that much to me. And I put way too much time and effort into that shit just to be gone within a week.
Come on.
Yeah, it was that last update that did it for me, bro. Came home early one day. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and I fucking went to
WCW pack.
Yeah, get everything ready because I think someone else uploaded a new character, so I was gonna grab him, and then
yeah, for some old ass Lex Luger.
Yeah, bro, fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, I know. I've been that last fucking update. I don't know. Well, that last whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, that update. That shit fucked up everything. Like, I had a fucking call that didn't even have a fucking
face.
He had a fucking the fool had a fucking big 6 on his fucking chest. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? Like what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, man. And then, like for me, it would have to be like, all right, everyone go up, go into your character and basically take off all the DLC shit and all this, and that's a lot of work, bro. That's for y'all too, not just for me, you know.
2/3 of my shit's DLC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, not everyone's like DVD, just he's plain and simple, but you know, shit.
I do have different attires for that, so if you need to use that, just use the original one.
Yeah, you would be good, but then you gotta think about like everyone, like for SGK's new look, added DLC shit, DMX's new shit.
I mean, I could do it, but that shit would take way too long.
Yeah,
with the new game coming out in just a few short months,
it's a bitch.
Like, nah, I'm good. Sorry, well, I'll wait till 25.
Yeah,
2K, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I never got. Like I get people don't want to take the time to like do the MyRise stuff and whatnot, but it's like a lot of people played that shit, and a lot of places like with feds, they're like, "Well, we didn't do the MyRise stuff, so you can't have that." It's like, in my opinion, you know, if you're a streamer and you want the whole community to be a part of it, and you welcome all. I feel like before you start streaming that year's game.
Yeah, that's what I did this year. I took care of all that. I did that. I did the whatever other shit, the classic matches. I did all that to have everything.
Because it's like you don't want to limit yourself to shit where everyone else is doing it, and then no one's going to want to be a part of your shit. Like it works for some people, but for like at least in this game, there wasn't a whole lot that got added to it because it was like a couple of the like goofy character gimmicks, like the Evil Within thing where you float down, or like the Rhea Ripley story where you grab the camera and throw the cameraman down. Like there wasn't a whole lot that changed, so like that's not a big deal. But previous games, you know, there was like moves, there was cool attires that got added to it, like better entrances, a lot of stuff got added. And like I know I had dealt with that last year with a few people because they're like, yeah, we don't do that. It's like, why are you limiting your people just because you don't want to take, I don't know, 5 hours total?
DVD's like that though. He didn't do the My Rise and shit. He wouldn't do it. He
wouldn't. He don't do it for Fight Club.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't get why the 2K does that, because in the next game, all those items are gonna be free.
Exactly. And
that's
like,
true.
So
that's
I don't get that part.
And I mean, I still stay in the feds that I'm like that people do that shit. It's like I was just saying personally, I don't get it. But like, if people don't want to do it, then you know, no one's gonna force them to do it.
100%. Yeah, I get that. But...
Like if you respect the person, like I do DVD. Like if he goes, hey, make sure you don't have any Myra shit. Bet you ain't gonna hear me complain. But in my mind, I'm like, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. It takes.
We've been telling him that for years already, just to do it every year.
Because like,
I'm gonna do it.
Because like in total, the Myra stuff maybe 7-8 hours total, if that. And if you play at least 2 hours a day, you'll have that shit done within the first week of the game coming out. And 2 hours gaming is not a long time if you really think about it. Because I think it took me maybe 3 days, not total, but like playing a couple hours for 3 days, and I had it all beat with both male and female. So I got all the shit. It's like, yeah, it's a pain in the ass for people who don't actually want to like play the game. They just want to do the creating aspect and then feds and not worry about the other shit. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it's like, imagine the types of people that you could bring in saying, hey, I've got everything unlocked. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, that, or just I don't know, any person in general just want to take like a new route, a new look for their character and download some of the shit. Definitely give them a new gimmick.
Yeah, and you know that shit does help. That it like, you know, you can create people that have those cool gimmicks. Like I know one of my people is a chick who is just rough around the edges, just a brute of a woman, and she has that Rhea Ripley entrance with grabbing the camera, throwing him down, laughing at him stuff, because that's the character I build off her. She's an arrogant asshole who literally doesn't care.
That's the way it should be, man. Gotta open up the minds. That's it. Have fun with that shit.
It's all about. It's all that this whole thing's about. Is just having fun.
That's why I got the Steam Deck for it too, so I could do like the My Rise shit without turning on the PC and shit. Do all that through there.
Yeah, and then you know I do get also that people who don't do that. It's like they have the game for their console and not their system. I mean their PC, and then they don't want to have to do it twice, which I get. But it's like there are ways around that shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially if you like sharing stuff. So you have your homeboy or some whoever you game share would do it for you, especially if they're part of the shit.
Exactly.
Keep going. This is bad. This is crazy.
Next question.
Yeah, no next question for DVD. He's updating his mic, man. He's always doing something. But I mean, so far from what I've heard, I've liked what I've been hearing from you guys. What you guys been talking about.
Yeah. See, with me, I'm just real. Like,
yeah, that's all we ask for over here. That's how I basically started. Everything was real. If you don't like what we do, you get the fuck out of here. That's always been like my.
And that's my thing is like when people ask that, my hardest question to answer so far has been like, what's the gimmick? Because it's like, to me, it's not a gimmick. It's me. Like,
it's fair enough. It's fair.
Like, it's who I am in real life too. Like, I'm the type of person.
It's who you would have been if you were a wrestler, probably.
Yeah. It was.
That's how we go about it. That's how it's been since I started this back 2K22.
Yeah, like if I'm doing a promo with someone that in character I hate, I'm imagining them as like one of the people I actually couldn't stand in like school or work or whatever. And I'm actually like, I'm making myself feel like I'm talking to them. Like, because I'm cool with 90% of the people I'm in feds with. Like, 8% more people I just don't care about because they aren't on my radar, and then there's like the 2% I don't care for at all. And it's like, okay, those are people I could easily promo with because I don't like them to begin with, and then they're also the people that take it too real because they think I'm actually talking to them and not their character.
Yeah, you get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Came across a lot of that shit.
It's like, bro, when I fucking
Too much.
When the stream stops streaming and the fight's over and I'm not in the chat, I don't even think about really anybody in the chat except the like close people I've actually become legit friends with. It's like I'll be cool with all y'all in the chat, but don't expect a Christmas card from me. Like,
yeah, we ain't sending out Christmas cards.
Yeah, man. you'll get a happy birthday if we're friends on Facebook and I see that's your birthday, or I'll be the last one to know in the messages when I see everyone else wishing you a happy birthday. But that's just to be nice. But man, like, there's like 3 or 4 people, man, and this whole entire Fed thing where I'm like, yeah, I consider them like an actual friend. The other ones, it's like, cool, we're community friends.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, we got a lot of I say family over here.
Yeah.
Look out for each other. Try to.
Like if there's people who are having like a rough time,
going through stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what I was about to say. Like, yeah, that whole mindset of like it doesn't matter to anybody. That whole shit drops the moment I see someone actually going through shit, and I'm like, all right, now it's my time.
Yeah.
To like be the dude to be there from like an actual friend.
Exactly. Yeah, we got a lot of those over here. We try, man. They hold it down too. Like, I'm not around. DBD, Demon X, Ego, Genie. There's a bunch of them. Hopkins, Savage. Names goes on and on. Like what they do in the chat and stuff, and hosting their own shows and shit just to keep shit going. The podcast, just to keep it alive. So
exactly. I mean,
they do good, man. Without them, we wouldn't. Still be around. Global production be shut down. So,
hey, that's all you need, man. Is that crew just to keep things rolling. Like those are the type of people that actually do become like legit family outside of this. Like one dude in particular for me is Hitman, J Smoke, whatever people go by him. He changes his name more than fucking people change their underwear.
Yeah,
but
he's a cool dude, bro.
But
he's cool.
That dude is my brother. Like, I love that dude to death. I would fucking do anything for that man. Like, we're trying to plan a way for me and him to actually meet up, even though we're states away.
Nice. Yeah, that's what's up. A few of us have met over here. Like, Savage has met up with Hopkins when he was on his honeymoon. I've met up with Tolos. I know DVD. I know fucking Ego and all his family. So there's a lot of us, like, we grew up together. So
yeah, and then there's a dude
about this wrestling thing. They were all in, man. They loved the idea. They actually, Ego was probably doing this way before I even started. He just never started to stream or anything. So
yeah, I wasn't streaming at that time.
Yeah, and Savage met up with Tolos too. So there's a lot of us like that love wrestling and want to be wrestlers at one point in time, or even if we was wrestlers when we was kids out in the street. So
like wrestling, I feel like is now just starting to get repopular again, because for a while it was like a lost love for a lot of people. Like, people would get made fun of for being wrestling fans and shit like that. Like, I remember 10 years ago, if you wore a wrestling shirt to school or whatever, it's like people made fun of you. Now everyone is all about it. It's like, man, like,
yeah, I stopped watching wrestling for maybe 12 to 14 years. I didn't start watching it again until 2020. So
I started watching before the pandemic, actually, like 2019.
Me right after that Royal Rumble that Roman fought Rollins and Paul Heyman did his thing. That was when I started watching it again. Yeah, I didn't watch it, man.
See, I never stopped. There was a time I stopped watching WWE because at the time TNA Impact was really taking off for me, and I grew really close to watching. Yeah, Perk Angle and shit like that. Yeah, like you had people like like Bubba Ray Dudley being Bully Ray. Like, I loved the character of Bully Ray, and again, Samoa Joe, and yes.
I got one question for you, Go. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, you must have not been in the chat earlier. Of all time,
I was working, so.
Nah, so they asked, that was not the question though. The question earlier was who was the right now. But
it's still the same, though. It's still the same.
Who is it?
Of all time. Samoa Joe is my favorite of all time.
Okay.
That's fair.
It's different, eh?
It is different.
Shout out to him for that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't mention it. They mention like AJ Styles, or like I haven't heard of Jeff Hardy though.
See, I was about to say
Jeff
like
Hardy. Okay.
my first ever favorite was Sting.
But Sting is goated.
And then it became Jeff Hardy. But after seeing what Samoa Joe has done for so many years and everything, like just watching him pretty much throughout his whole career since I could actually like watch TV and like watch shit on the internet, Samoa Joe has always been my number one go-to.
Didn't Sting end Rick Rude's career with the suplex?
I don't know.
Who was it that ended Rick Rude? It was a WCW guy. It was somebody like Sting, though.
Yeah, I
like
don't think it was Sting.
It was Sting, right? It was somebody else.
I don't know. You might be right. I don't think so, but you might be right.
I don't think it was
because Sting is a safe wrestler. Because there's a lot of people that don't, then they ain't safe. Goldberg, a lot of people.
It was Sting. It was Sting, actually. Right? Thinking about it, it was, yeah.
They're on like a pavement, or like there was outside the ring that led. To, it was like a stage outside.
I remember
of the
that,
ring.
But it was Sting. Wow,
it was a suicide dive.
Yeah, it was a dive. I think it was a dive, or it was like a suplex or something.
From what I remember, it was
Like he couldn't wrestle after that no more.
Yeah, it was the dive that fucked up his back, and probably the suplex just made it worse. But yeah,
but you got to give him credit because he's tough as fuck back then in the 80s and 90s. Because they
Edge broke Sadio Vega's neck on his debut. So
yes, I remember that shit. That was crazy.
Vega, yeah, man. But Savio Vega's still banging out in like indies over there in PR.
Yeah, he's still good, but I'm just saying,
in PR,
like,
he's a legend.
Like a botched debut, you know, it happened.
Let's see,
like what they did with Stone Cold. Stone Cold could have been bigger than what he is right now, and he's huge, but he could have been bigger than that if Owen Hart didn't like fuck up his neck. You know what I mean?
It was both of the Harts because one fucked up his neck and the other one fucked up his knee.
Exactly.
Brett?
Brett was one who fucked up Stone Cold's first knee.
He acknowledges Brett. He said Brett was safe
Stone Cold's
for them.
first knee brace was Bret Hart.
Really?
Yeah,
Psycho Sid's injury was crazy. BS.
You would actually know if you did your 2K, because that's where it matters.
Yeah, but another one of my favorites, not of all time, but like one that doesn't get like a lot of like hype for it, mainly just because of his booking. I've always been a Karrion Kross fan when he was like Killer Kross.
I never really liked him.
That was before he came to NXT, right?
Yeah.
I liked him when he came back, like from like the rumors. Remember when there was a rumor where he was like done, and then he came back with his lady, and he had that smoke entrance. That shit was dope. I was like, yo, that's fire. But
see, I've always been an indie guy. I've always loved like seeing people that a lot of people didn't know about. And then rise up. Like again, Killer Kross was someone that I followed for so long in the independent circuit.
I think
just because like
Baron Corbin worked harder than him, but that's just me.
I love Baron Corbin too. I just feel like they just kept throwing him shit that it didn't relate to him. Like I hated
they fuck you up. Vince was a piece of shit, man. Yeah, they gave him shitty gimmicks. That's what makes you, man, in this business. When you're in that business, man, you gotta like know, like. You gotta run. It's like the music industry, you know. Like you gotta do this. You gotta dress like this.
That's a double-edged sword, though, bro. Because they gave you a character, you gotta go 110% with it. They gave him King of the Ring. How does
that work? Since you were gonna get into since DMK was gonna get involved in it, and you probably know like the thing. So how does that work? They assign you a gimmick, and you got to do that first in order to become your own gimmick later on down the future. Or
not always.
I think when you're coming in, if you're not a known name or you don't have a gimmick,
you have to present something for them to. Yeah.
But if you got something, you can sell it. Like they'll like if you say, "Yo, I'm DBD, Dimebag," they're gonna be like, "All right, pitch it, sell it."
Yeah. See, nowadays they give you that freedom to it,
bro. You have to raise an eyebrow.
Yeah. Nowadays they do give you a little bit of wiggle room to like talk with them to get an idea, but like. Even 5-10 years ago, no, dude, you had no say. It was, this is what we see in you. Unless you had someone back there to stand up for you and say, that's not the route. Like he did this in the indies. He's this kind of person. Let him roll with this. Like I'll give you a little bit of insight on someone. Did you know that the first gimmick given to Brock Lesnar, even though it was never shown, was a silent Russian dude who just stood in the middle of the ring and let people bounce off of him with 1 or 2 moves to finish the match.
That's crazy.
That was Brock. That was the first gimmick that Vince was going to give to Brock Lesnar, was a non-speaking Russian, just pretty much wall that people would do moves and he would no sell, not move, and then beat them with 1 or 2 moves. That was it.
That's crazy.
It's like a lot of people ain't safe though. Like Goldberg, he was not safe. Like
neither was Bobby Lashley. Bobby
Lashley, but he had a but he wasn't safe because he didn't want to be safe. It was like he wasn't safe because he was new at it. You know.
I'm gonna get some hate for this. Seth Rollins is not a safe worker.
You think Seth Rollins ain't safe?
I know Seth Rollins is not safe because if you like piss him off for real, he's
like
really
him.
Gonna try to curb
that's why they haven't booked him and CM Punk.
Try to hurt you.
See,
that's why they haven't booked him and CM Punk then, right?
Think about it. Finn Balor.
Yeah, because that's real.
No, that's gonna CM Punk and Seth is gonna be WrestleMania. That's why.
But
yeah,
the thing is,
if they was to go at it and like they really don't like each other, you don't think that he's really gonna like
that? We'll have to wait and see.
I think now with the check that he's getting, he's willing to play ball. But maybe like last year, the year before that.
The issue with Seth is he gets. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword. He gets so worked up during his matches that he lets like the adrenaline and the excitement take over that he doesn't think. He just acts. That's why he busted John Cena's nose with that knee. He was too close. He exerted that jump way too quickly and struck his knee up way too fast and way too hard. And with Sting's buckle bomb, there was no reason for that to happen. He practically threw him off his shoulders. Finn Balor's buckle bomb on the barricade.
He dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah, he was too far away. He got too excited in the moment and was like, "We're gonna make a pop," and he just fucking launched it. He gets too into it to the point where it's no longer staged for him because he's letting all of it just go. He's not holding back.
It's not. But I think that safety's like, I think that's what they like focusing on more. Yeah, they focus on that more, especially when it comes to the big dogs. Like you can't if you're not safe. Like right now, Gunther, he's a big dog, right? You're not gonna put him in the ring with Goldberg just like that. Even though I think they're booking that's planned already.
Maybe he wants that.
Yeah, but he does want that. And I think it's gonna happen. The thing is, like. Gunther is like, he's really like, he's kind of like the face of like the heavyweight division. You get what I'm saying? So like, you're not gonna let Goldberg, who hasn't been in the ring in probably like 10 years or something.
Goldberg's not gonna win.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna let this nigga come out of nowhere and
that
win.
Match shouldn't even happen, bro.
That match shouldn't happen. Of course not. But they're gonna make it happen. Either that or it's gonna be Damian Priest because Gunther.
The reason why I think they're trying to push the Goldberg is so they can introduce his son.
No, the reason why they're doing this Goldberg thing is because it got leaked in Goldberg's contract that he was guaranteed a retirement match, and it never happened. And ever since this whole bullshit with Vince McMahon, he's finally spoken up about it, and they're trying to. I think, in a sense, they're trying to keep that contract from getting like null and void, and so he doesn't sue him because they signed the contract. You get a retirement match.
They're gonna give it to him.
That is true.
They're gonna give it to him. I mean, he probably wants it at WrestleMania and shit, but
yeah,
I agree with BS. Like a lot of these motherfuckers, they got 2 or 3 moves, and it's like, damn, that's it. But I ain't gonna lie.
Like that.
I hate that shit. Goldberg is one of those. But I ain't gonna lie. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and fucking Sheamus, they gave you a banger for that Intercontinental title on WrestleMania 39.
Yeah. Oh, that's a match that's going to be talked about for years.
That's going to be talked about for years. I'm talking about that shit right now, and that was 2 years ago.
So, 2 years ago in wrestling is still kind of fresh if you think about it. I mean,
yeah, no, but still, like that match, like compared to the like a couple matches you've seen, like the last best women's wrestling match I've seen was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
It's facts.
Like that was honestly the last good females women's match. Actually, no, I'm lying. The one where Rhea Ripley had with this bitch with Becky Lynch. they went ham.
Yeah, if we're just talking about WWE, yeah, but I mean, like, I've seen way too many, like, even independent wrestling shows with women, and they fucking kill it every time.
Give it
They're more competitive.
Yeah, like, even
Especially
though
they have more to prove.
Call it bias because I've already said she's my favorite female wrestler. Jordan Grace and what's her name? Mika Slamovich, I think is what, or Milka Slamovich or something like that. They recently had a title match where Jordan Grace lost, and it was just such a fucking banger of a match. Like that's one thing that I think it's why I like independent wrestling and like lower company matches like that is because. Yeah, they have more to prove. They're trying to get their name out there, and it's like they still have their freedom to do their craft rather than everything pretty much being the same song and dance that you see in WWE. Because for a while there, it didn't matter who it was. Every single person was doing the same exact thing over and over again. Like, I remember, God, it's probably been 6-7 years ago. I was watching it was the WrestleMania where the Hardys came back.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Where I think the New Day were the hosts.
Yeah.
There was a match. I think it was Dean Ambrose versus Bryan Danielson, I believe, or something like that. Or they had this matches right after each other. I was in the kitchen cooking, and my ex was watching it, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then she told me. And I called the rest of the match saying exactly what was going to happen from the point she told me all the way to the end as I was in the kitchen cooking without even watching the TV. Shit was becoming so repetitive and stale that you didn't even have to watch a match because it was always the same thing.
Yeah, that's been happening.
And that's why I love independence.
It's fair enough. CM Punk, I heard, came back tonight. That shit trash.
I don't want to hear nothing about SmackDown. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen anything.
I just came across it right now.
Oh, okay. I was like,
it's trash. But you'll see it when you see it. Right? Just dropped my phone. I was like, all right, cool. Oh boy,
Trash lately, man.
Shit is crazy. But
all right. What's next there, DVD?
DVD's.
Oh, is he still?
Yeah, I think he's on his smoke break right now.
Back
to the what we were saying before.
I'm here.
He had to revise his notes. That's all.
Yeah, I'm here. It's just I had to do something real quick. 2 seconds. But man. Like last thing I was talking about was the last solid women's wrestling match, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, either it was the Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, or it was Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. That was the last solid good one that I was like, yo, these bitches went crazy.
One female match that I think really exceeded my expectations was recently in NXT. It was
the Fatal 4 shit with Bailey and them.
No. Like more recent than that.
Gotcha.
It was a tag team match with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Julia, and I can't think of the other chick's name. Like, dude, we're just talking a couple weeks ago. That recent. And for a women's tag team match, I was like, damn, these girls can fucking go. Because I know Julia has been able to go. She's wrestled in Japan and all that, and I've watched her for a long time too. But like, it's really hard to see like women's tag team matches be really like wow and get that factor out of people. But they actually showed a lot during that match.
Yeah, I didn't watch that match. I didn't see that.
I normally don't praise tag matches a lot, but
I ain't gonna lie, I don't really watch NXT unless like Jada Parker's on there, or like Lola Vice, which is a rivalry right now with them. But
yeah, there's not a whole lot that keeps me to watch NXT. I mean, there's a few people there that I actually enjoy, but it's like all of them are either injured or got called up, and it's like now I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, and you know what it is with NXT though? I ain't gonna lie. Well, mainly with like all the female matches that I've been watching, they all look like it's choreographed. You get what I mean? Like they like okay, like yo, stand right here. And then I seen like a couple botches where Io Sky's fighting. What's the other girl's name? There's the Damage Control. There's Japanese.
Kairi Sane.
She did some move the other day where she was supposed to get caught caught in reverse by Jade Cargill, and then Jade Cargill like did it, and like, she was looking at her like, oh yeah, my arm gotta go here, and then I was like, come on, like when you do shit like this, bro. I hate that. I catch on to those things. I'm like, come on, you bitches, you gotta get better than this. Like, make it happen. Like the way wrestling works is like you already know all these moves, you practiced this before. So just make it happen now. Now the only difference is you're making it happen in live in front of all these people and on national TV. You know what I mean?
And if it was every once in a while, it'd be fine. But man, like week after week, it's like
week after week. And then USA got to get better too with the holy shit. Like, let us fucking chant holy shit, bro. Like,
dude, once it hits Netflix, it's gonna be a different ball game.
We gotta wait to Netflix. Like, we can't. Like,
dude, it's not gonna work.
Back then, I ain't gonna lie, you bro. Back then in 2001, 2002, we were seeing titties on TV on USA.
Live. Oh yeah, back when like Triple H was doing all the DX thing, and he made that chick show him. I remember that shit.
I saw that shit live. When Sable took off her shirt and she had the handprints, you saw pure nipple there, bro. That was realistic. You know what I mean? Like,
and it definitely was realistic.
This is realistic in USA. They didn't bleep that, but now they bleep you when the crowd's chanting holy shit. Like, come on, really?
It's all because of contracts. They allow allow one cuss word through a show because
unless you're The Rock. If you're The Rock, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, remember when Shawn Michaels and Triple H came out naked and they had a Santa Claus hat?
Yeah,
bro, like that shit aired on TV, but you can't hear holy shit when the crowd is chanting it. It's not even like the people who's acting; it's the crowd. You know,
it's because it's a different ball game. People are so fucking sensitive, and all these different networks have different rules and regulations they have to go by. Like, because
I understand if it's AEW on TBS, because TBS is what, channel 3, channel 4, or whatever shit. So it's like, all right, this is like a channel that you can just. Yeah, that's a channel that you could just basically turn on your TV and it automatically lands on. So I get it. You can't curse on that channel. But AEW goes crazy. They go crazy. Yo, you seen MJF's fucking segments and his promos? This guy's like dropping F-bombs. He's fucking calling people dickheads.
Tony don't care about the money, bro. So they need to do something for that company.
Tony Khan, I'm telling you, he's overpaying these guys. And the crowd is not even full, man. Like they turn off the lights.
He's getting Roman numbers.
They all get Roman numbers. Edge get Roman numbers.
See, the thing is though, is like I don't really like fuck with AEW fully, but like man, there are moments and there are people I fuck with that I watch.
I used to, man. When we had like a little bit of a good Jericho. This Jericho is a fat fuck who's washed up. Like he's gotta cut it out.
Like that, bro. What's wrong with you?
He's the GOAT, bro. I love Chris Jericho. Like that's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But come on, man. You gotta know when enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like you didn't fucking Terry Funk.
Ego, what? Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. Ego, you still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Pulling up the game. What you told me to do, I just turned it on.
Looking like Terry Funk. Check it out.
But like, you know, there are people in AEW that I really enjoy. Like I watched Kenny Omega.
Go to your
I like
save data.
I like Kenny Omega.
And try to download your last saved data from your storage.
On the Steam shit, okay.
Kenny Omega has always been one of my favorites. Will Ospreay was one. I mean, some people don't like him. I'm a huge Darby Allin fan because it brings me back to the times where I used to watch like the Hardys go extreme and shit like that. So like that, there's a nostalgic aspect to Darby Allin that I really enjoy. Some bigger men like Brian Cage I really enjoy. Not really what he's doing now because he's just used as a bodyguard for faction after faction. But
let's be realistic before you continue. Just real quick, let's be realistic. The Hardy Boys, they were only extreme just because Jeff Hardy could jump off of ladders. But besides that, there wasn't really extreme like Rob Van Dam extreme.
Yeah, there's no reason they should have been called Team Extreme. I'll give
There
you
should
that.
no reason. But go ahead, continue.
We talking ETW? What?
No. I was talking about.
I know, I'm fucking around.
Oh, okay. But like, so I don't watch AEW to support AEW. I watch AEW to support the people that have worked their ass off just to be able to be on TV.
Okay.
But now,
Respectful.
because as a person of the craft, whether I'm no longer allowed to do it and I focus mainly on like helping people who are actually in companies, because I'll get to this in a second. A buddy of mine is actually in contract with TNA. Like, I used to help do promo work and help the people out like that. So, like, I'm still a student of the craft, whether or not I can be in the ring anymore. So, I watch almost everything just so I can support people like that have busted their ass and done shit like that. Like Darby, like
Yo,
people.
DVD, Savage Vega says send him the link so you can pull up.
But there are people who talk so much shit on Darby
Oh, yeah,
Allin because of like his personal life and stuff like that. But it's like you've got a guy that literally came from nothing, living in his car, to a person who may not always win or be like the world title, but like he's so talented because he does it himself. Like he is his own character, and I love that. He is not he's not just a cop out of a character.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
but when is enough? Like why do you have to show like these companies that you could take all this punishment and pain and shit to be like known, like you just said, to be known like that, to be like you're one of a kind, and
because people are more like, not everyone is a paycheck. Not everyone is going to take the money to be on a brand that everyone will watch. They just want to do their craft and at least be able to do it to their fullest. Like Darby Allin was given a contract to WWE and he turned it down because it was the time during when 205 Live was a thing.
Right.
Darby Allin said no. He goes, because you guys are just going to put me in 205 Live. You're going to change my gimmick. You're going to change my name. You're going to change who I am. You're not going to let me do what I want to do. People develop their craft for a reason, and some people will take that chance to make it big and change everything about themselves.
Sounds like some of these EFEDs out there.
Right.
Yo, what's up, fellas?
They will take
bro?
every aspect of who they are.
Savage Vega joining in. Nah, but you're right. Yeah,
And change it.
They take every aspect of it.
Well, to piggyback on that Darby Allin situation, and he was banging Gigi Dolan.
I mean, that might
was
be
his
another.
wifey at the time.
That might be another reason why I'm a fan of him. But
Talking about like little skeezers like that, right? What do you think about Hollywood? What's that girl's name from that Netflix show? With the Al Snow Wrestling, the OVO.
Oh, Haley.
That little.
Well,
tramp.
she already got her little contract. She's getting called up.
She's getting called up to what? AEW, Ring of Honor.
Yeah, that's a big step from where she's starting at.
She's trailer park trash.
See, I don't have Netflix, so that's probably the only thing I don't watch then.
Yeah, because it was
I
a
don't have time to
documentary.
watch TV, period. So
Right.
Let me cut it short for you TV non-watchers, right? Real quick.
Oh, yeah.
OVW is a Netflix
Ohio
documentary.
Valley Wrestling. It used to be the developmental for WWE.
It used to be developmental for WWE. Al Snow runs it. He has a couple people there.
help me. Go ahead.
Batista, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, all came
Randy
from there.
Orton.
Randy Orton.
Yeah, they
came
were
from
all
there.
in OVW.
And Shelton Benjamin all in the same class.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar were tag team champions in OVW.
Well, there you go. That's an indie thing.
Even
so
Brock was doing shooting star presses over there.
Yeah.
that's wild.
That was his
Wow.
finisher back then.
Yeah, I actually
That's
have a
wild.
buddy from high school that he's wrestled a couple matches for OVW.
That's wild.
Yeah, see, I got a buddy from college who wrestles for Impact Wrestling right now.
That's dope. That's a good thing.
Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
If they keep that going, they can make something
Yeah.
happen out of that.
Living a dream, man.
Yeah, and it all started with the dream me and him and I talked about during college. Like, he's always been a huge wrestling fan. I was always a huge wrestling fan. We've talked about doing it together, stuff like that. He said it was always his goal, and I'm like, me too. We always came up with like fun ideas, like what we'd be. I'd be like, I used to make the joke because, you know, being a bigger white guy and him being a bigger black guy is like, dude, we could be this next generation's Team 3D. We'd always make jokes. How good do you look in camo? I'm like, well, I already got the glasses.
3D's underrated too.
That's great.
Like, and I got hurt in college, and I'm like, bro,
didn't they just come back on NXT?
Bubba did. And, oh yeah, Devon did for a minute, but he didn't really wrestle because his body is so gone. He will never actually wrestle again. But Bubba wrestled with Trick Williams.
Blessings to him, and thank you for his craft. Because we had a whole generation because of him.
I actually met Bubba Ray Dudley, and he is like, he may act like an ass on TV, but man, he is so like professional and such a great guy in person. But it's like he's so
he's playing his character, man. He knows what
but he is such a professional. Like, I remember one of the last things I told him, I said, you know, you are like one of the main reasons that I wanted to become a wrestler. I was like, I used to watch, you know, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and you and Devon. I'm like, you guys were like my childhood. And I was like, I've always wanted to be a wrestler because of that. He looks at me, he goes, sorry. And I started laughing. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, it's a hard business. He goes, you know, people want to do it. He goes, but they don't understand the time and effort and like everything that we have to put ourselves through. He goes, I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Yeah, you always hear that from a lot of people in their profession. Like, you don't want this. Military? Nah, you don't want to come to the military. Shit.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. Shit.
But like
that shit so much.
But you know, it's like I've had wrestling in my life longer than I've had like friends. I used to make jokes. People would be like, you know, wrestling's fake, right? And I'd be like, it's realer than you are, man. Like,
it's facts, man. Hell yeah, man.
Like, relationships have come and gone, friendships have come and gone, but for me, wrestling's always been there.
I feel the same way.
You should have showed them the open palm slap move.
Like, did that feel fake? Like, no, like
right? Shit. Nah, man, that shit was real to us growing up, man. I mean, even if it was fake, whatever, we would wrestle in the backyards and shit. That shit was real.
Oh yeah.
Even if we said, all right, you're gonna do this to me, I'm gonna do that. You still felt this shit, bro. At the end of the day, so
shit fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah,
like
man.
Getting actually slammed and shit. Like, I've been through there, man. It sucks. Yeah. But I'll tell you what,
takes a toll.
It's like a tattoo. If anyone needs like any idea of what it feels like to be in a wrestling ring, it is like getting a tattoo. You know it's gonna hurt. You know it's gonna suck. But damn, you fucking love every second of it, and you keep coming back for more. That's
facts.
That's the best way I can describe anyone who is ever going to dream about being like a pro wrestler, doing whatever.
Yeah, we had I think Hopkins was trying to do it. Someone else in our GW thing. He was doing it for a while too, and he said that shit was no joke. You get kicked in your mouth. Whoo.
Yeah, shit's not a joke.
Yeah.
You feel it, dude. I probably still feel it. I think I wake up sometimes still feeling a fucking cramp from it. Like, it takes a toll on you, even just the training process. Like, it is not for everybody. People, you know, sit there and watch it like, oh, we could do that. No, you don't even know how much a simple suplex, like how much you have to work on that. Like, simple shit that you see on TV that's like, oh, that's so easy. He just lifted this guy. Oh, no. Like, even pulling punches so that way you don't hurt your people when you're doing those staged punches. Mm-hmm. You know how hard it is to keep like going with staged punches? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1 second or one fucking like twitch in your arm when you're throwing a punch or anything.
Nobody has Triple H in their Mount Rushmore?
Nope. Triple H is one of the most overrated dudes ever.
Really?
He was not good. I'm sorry. If you go back,
I think the game was the best Triple H we ever got.
Oh, for sure, best Triple H ever. But I mean,
like, even when he was like baby face and then turn heel again, because he's the best heel of all time if you really look at it. But then again,
the cerebral assassin.
Sorry, he knows the business, but as a wrestler,
pretty well. Like,
I just think he was an overrated wrestler. He was not that good.
He was always getting hurt, though. That's the problem with him. If he wasn't really always hurt, he has the potential to be with like Stone Cold and The Rock. Actually, he is like what Stone Cold and The Rock was in the Attitude Era. Him,
See,
Undertaker, Kane,
but the thing
Rock,
is,
Stone
though, like,
Cold. That's the Attitude Era's face. Kurt Angle.
And Shawn Michaels.
but if you think about it, if
And
you
Shawn
Mankind.
Michaels was the ending of the Attitude Era, though.
if you actually
But he
look
was
back
still on the
though,
same poster.
same
the
poster.
thing
He
is
defied Attitude.
is The
Yeah,
Rock is
he was
up there and
wild.
one of them. The Rock is up there, maybe not on Mount Rushmore, but at least close to it, because a lot of
Yep.
people don't realize this because of how long it was and just the impact he made. The Rock was only a full-time wrestler for 4 years.
That's what I was trying to tell you, buddy. Like, if you're gonna put The Rock over Triple H as a wrestler,
Damn, that
you're
means he was
wilding.
that great.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he's not that great.
Nigga, if he was to be able to reach where he reached in
He's not
4
that great.
years, where it took most 20, come on, man.
Vince McMahon is
You
the
gotta
greatest
give
heel
him
of all
some type
time.
of credit.
Because he debuted in what, 97, if I'm not
Vince
mistaken?
McMahon is God. Is the God of wrestling.
Rocky
Can we all
Maivia.
agree?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Can
I
we
got
all
that
agree
Funko
that
Pop.
Vince McMahon is the God of wrestling? Like,
Vince McMahon is the devil of wrestling.
Thank you.
And that's not just an insult, because
I think Vince Russo,
Yeah, shout out to Vince McMahon. But without Vince, shit, we wouldn't have this, bro.
there wouldn't be wrestling without
Yeah,
Vince.
no, there wouldn't be. I wouldn't call him the god of wrestling only
He has to
because
be the God. Like, who's gonna be the God? He's the God and the devil.
That
at this
motherfucking
moment.
jizzle. Shit.
I will call him the devil of professional wrestling. And again, it's a double-edged sword. It's good and bad.
Well, you never know, because at the end of the day, they say that Otis wasn't really a good like person. He was a god.
Well, the reason why I say the devil instead of the god is because, yeah, he did great for, again, we wouldn't have wrestling if it wasn't for him, or at least we wouldn't have wrestling in the way it is today if it wasn't for him.
100%.
But he had to do a lot of.
But before anything, let's be realistic. Vince McMahon is a fucking mastermind when it
Yes.
came down to storylines
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah, I'm not. That's why I said it's good and bad. I'm not
Right.
taking away anything he did. When it came to building this like business, because he pretty much is the pinnacle of what it means to be a business owner for professional wrestling. But what I'm saying is the reason I say the devil instead of the god of wrestling is because without everything he did behind scenes, though, all the shit that he did, like corrupt, vile, everything,
Yeah.
we still wouldn't have wrestling what it
He
is
was
today.
letting Pat Patterson rape motherfuckers too.
So that's why I'm saying he's the devil of professional wrestling, because it was not always pure. It was not always planned. There was a lot of nasty, horrible shit that happened behind the scenes. But because of those things is why we have wrestling what it is today. So, yes, he is above everyone else when it comes to the mind work of everything else of what wrestling is, but he's not the god of it. He's the devil. He made it work the way he wanted. He made his deal. He made his crossroad deals with the people he had to make it successful.
He's the devil.
If you ever had an opportunity to work for Vince,
No.
and all right, off the rip, that's it. No
Sign
further
me up. I'm going.
See, because for me is
For me, it's a 50-50, though, to be honest with you. I'm like, no and maybe. You know what I mean? I'm like, maybe.
Hey, if
Like,
Vince is
I didn't-
shitting on people in his time, that's his time, bro. Just don't do
I
it in front of me.
but
I
it's
didn't
like-
mean to cut you off on the question though,
It
because
depends, but it depends what you want me to do. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
I would work for him if he let me use me as who I am
Right.
and not be like, you're going to be a circus clown. The fuck I am.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
And don't
Like,
invite me to no parties either.
if I come up to him and he tells me something like, since I'm not a third generation, like second generation superstar, whatever, like The Rock was, if he can give me what he did with The Rock, besides the fact that he gave him that gimmick, the Rocky might be a shit because his father and his grandmother, whatever, or his grandfather, whatever the fuck.
The high chief.
Yeah, the high chief. So he was Rocky Maivia because he was Rocky's Johnson's son and whatever. But if he gives me something besides like that, and he tells me, "Go ahead, you got 2 minutes on the mic." You get what I'm saying? Like, let me do my. If he give me something like that and let me pop, and if it goes well, it goes well, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever. He's got to let me do that. Like that's the only way I will work for him.
That would be my exact deal too.
If he tells me something like, "Oh, go out there and be the piece of shit that falls out of Undertaker's ass," I'm not doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I would never sell myself.
He does like petty shit like that. Like, like go out there and fucking wear a thong and take your pants off, and you're like, Vince, really?
I definitely see you doing that DVD. I could definitely see.
Feel me? Like, come on. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to be the king of violence.
I could definitely see it.
You over here? I'm trying to be the king of violence, and you're over here trying to make me what? What are you doing here, Vince?
You're the queen of violence. Let's not forget
that. Trying to make me the princess. You're like, what he did to that guy? What's his name? The dude with the snake move.
Oh, Santino Marella.
Oh my god, dude! What he did to him, that's terrible. You saw what he did to him.
Yeah, and that's the thing is
what he
like
did to Eugene. So
Eugene, like Vince is a piece of shit, bro. Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like if you can give me certain privileges to work for you, then I'll do it. But if you're gonna treat me as like,
but that's probably also he didn't believe in them, bro. He didn't think they could play their character. Probably you gotta also think like that too, you know.
So that's a good question now. So who did he treat as a piece of shit, a scumbag like that actually made it and became something that he is now?
Punk.
Really?
Punk, Rocky Maivia. Rocky Maivia
besides Rocky Maivia, because we already know Rocky.
Who else? Farouk. Come on, nigga, that little outfit he had
Booker T.
with the fucked up hat.
Oh my god! Remember he had the He-Man.
I believe that. I forgot about that shit.
That was the Farouk Assad gimmick.
Yes. I forgot about that. Oh man, that's great.
He was in the
and mind you, this man was coming off of being the first ever WCW and the NWA WCW World.
Yeah, Ron Simmons.
Yeah, Ron Simmons.
Yeah, Ron Simmons. But anyway, let's now that we're on that topic too. Now that we're on that topic, though, right? What's Hulk Hogan's gimmick? Like the yellow and red Hogan.
The American hero. The American hero.
No, it's something beyond the American hero because the American thing only happened because we were at war at the time. When
Vince was like, it was a great idea. It worked.
Yeah, exactly. But what's his gimmick? When you say Hulk Hogan, give me a gimmick that you'd be like, oh, because you got Undertaker. You already know
the Hulk
gimmick
from the movies.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I mean,
because that's really has no answer.
How you look at it?
Nigga, you're the Hulk Hogan fan. You should know that.
I am a Hulk Hogan fan. The only gimmick that he really had was Hollywood Hogan.
That was actually his gimmick.
And that was his heel turn, and that was like the biggest. That is one of the biggest heel turns in wrestling history.
Did you know that that's the only rights that he has is to that character?
You know that
the Hulk Hogan character. Vince has the rights to that.
Vince,
him, Hulk Hogan, and Andre the Giant were the only two wrestlers in wrestling history that does not have a gimmick that are superstars. That are like mega superstars. Well, I don't know if you consider.
Was the third one you said? Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, who?
Yeah, that's it. Just Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Because the Ultimate Warrior had a gimmick too. He was a comic book superhero.
But see, the thing about Hulk Hogan is he technically did have a gimmick.
But what's the gimmick?
In a sense, like
the same as Lex Luger's, right?
In a sense,
the American icon.
Well, Lex Luger, they tried to mold Lex Luger into a whole.
Yeah,
yeah.
What they did with Lex Luger was like you're a bodybuilding supermodel. That's what they made him. But you're a tough motherfucker for being a supermodel. That's what they really did with Lex Luger. So
in a sense, Hulk Hogan's gimmick was the impersonal embodiment of like not a superhero, but like a hero in itself, because he's someone that pandered to the crowd, that did everything for the crowd, that got cheered for the crowd. He embraced that. He was the national hero is pretty much what his gimmick was. So yeah, there was a gimmick there, but it wasn't really flamboyant and out there like everyone else's. Like it was still there. technically his gimmick was considered the real American because that's what he was. Like he was portrayed as a national hero.
I mean, it wasn't his entrance song. I am a real American.
Man.
You know?
But
then he was talking about be righteous, read the Bible, eat your Wheaties, you know? So
but
man,
he was a national role model is pretty much what his gimmick was. But I mean, there are still people today that are like that. Like I'll give you someone. What would you say LA Knight's gimmick is? Yeah.
He's
they're molding him. He has the charisma. All right, LA Knight for me has the charisma of The Rock. He has potential. He has the charisma. He has the crowd. He has his saying. You know, Stone Cold was what?
Yep.
Stone Cold was what? The Rock. If you smell what The Rock's cooking, he has his gimmick. He's very charismatic, and he's gonna hold the world title. He has to hold the world title.
just because he's the last of a dying era. So you got to think about it. When the Rock's time and all that, he was like the young guy coming up.
But that's pretty much his gimmick is nostalgia, and it works. And he's great. Like he's one of my favorites. He's probably number one as like the active wrestlers in WWE. He's probably my number one.
All right, he's got it. He's definitely got it.
But like,
what was he supposed to be? Some type of fucking like supermodel thing, right, or something?
Well, that was.
Oh, when
that shit sucked.
Maxine Dupree.
Yeah,
I was
you go.
I was so pissed. Being an LA Knight fan back when he was Eli Drake in TNA and everything, I was so fucking livid. That might have been the time I actually stopped watching wrestling. Is when I seen that shit.
Who scratched that? Who scratched that gimmick? Was it Triple H?
It was. I think it was just LA Knight. He said, "I'm done."
When he came to NXT, he was already LA Knight. And then when he got to the main roster, they tried to change him to the model agency.
To the model thing, yep.
Yeah, he straight up said he's like, this isn't working for me. Like, this is not who I am. I can't do this anymore. And they gave him the opportunity, and he
rolled with it. Yep. And that's what I'm saying.
He did that shit live.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like, can some people like, all right, I'm not rolling with this gimmick, and then can they live up to it like LA Knight is like right now? You know. I don't think there's a lot of people that could do that. Like, it's a big.
Yeah,
big,
the other two guys got fired.
But yeah, he's that was pretty much him. Like, I think he went to Michael Hayes and was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this isn't me. Like, this, I've got so much more to offer. And I think because of who he was in NXT and TNA, they were like, well,
let's roll with it. Let's see.
Shit. I think he even threatened to not resign, and they knew that they would have been screwed without him because he was such a draw. No one liked his Maxine Dupree. They wanted LA Knight because they know who Eli Drake was.
It's true.
Like he's someone that I've spent so much time like researching and like being a fan of. Like, it was my job to fucking know about him, that I've grown really accustomed to the point that I'm like, I would say I am probably a fanboy for him because he's just someone that brings back that nostalgic feeling of what I used to watch as a kid.
Definitely, yeah, man. You see, like, he's much see TV basically. You want to see him, you know.
Like when you're a kid and your parents turn the TV off and say go to bed. Like, that's the type of person that you like sneak and turn the TV on and like sit right in front of the TV with the volume as low as it can so you can hear him like do his promo or watch his match. He brings back that kid in everyone that's like, this is what we used to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing flashy, nothing like completely out of the ordinary. He doesn't do a lot of those like flashy shit. Like his flashiest move, what is something he pulled out at SummerSlam this past year, where he does the middle rope, jumps onto the top rope, and does the elbow drop. Okay, like that's his flashiest move. I mean, even his finisher is so basic, but it's so unique because it's like it fits him.
Blunt force trauma.
Yeah,
so it definitely fits him.
So we're done with Rey Mysterio too, right? I think he's got to call it.
He should have never came back.
Well, I think he wanted to, but like I said, with the Goldberg situation, I think they're just dragging him out so that he can make sure his son's good before he.
At the end of the day, Rey Mysterio. Nobody deserves an ending match in WWE at WrestleMania than Rey Mysterio.
John
Yeah,
Cena.
but look, the way
Well,
I
John
see
Cena
that,
too, but you
the
know,
way I see that, the way I see that playing out with Rey Mysterio.
Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio before Goldberg, I say.
no,
But yeah,
no. But Rey Mysterio's retirement match is gonna. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now, and I'm pretty sure Ego's gonna fucking agree with me on this. It's gonna be a classic lucha de apuestas match, which means
Mm-hmm.
a hair versus mask match, in
Mm-hmm.
which Dominic is probably going to end up beating his father in the retirement match and donning the mask and doing
Yeah.
what Santos Escobar does, like we spoke about last time, coming
What
out
he
with the
did
mask on.
at that WrestleMania when he fought Rey
You
Yeah,
think
Mysterio.
so? You think he's gonna do that?
See, I don't.
yeah.
Shit.
I
I
That's
think
don't.
that
gonna pass
honestly,
the torch to his son.
it was supposed to go that way a long time ago, but he was not ready.
he
When they
wasn't.
when they brought him to fight Brock, when Rey Mysterio fought Brock and Dom was out there, he looked like he was scared. Like I get it, Brock's a big guy and all that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
realistically, he's
But
part of
Brock is really
Sweetheart.
good though.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
he's part of
but
Sweetheart in real life, bro.
See, here's
but
You
Dominic
you
has
could
come
tell he
into
wasn't
his own
ready.
though.
Yeah,
Dominic has come into
now
his
he
own.
could.
He's over. He's a really good heel. You know, his in ring ability has gotten better. You know,
You know
so
that Dom. Yeah, I know that Dom fought CM Punk on a live show.
yeah. It was
oh
CM Punk's
Yeah.
first official match
Yeah,
back, but
his
it
first
wasn't on
official
camera.
match. It wasn't on camera though,
yeah, it was a house show.
and he did pretty good on it. Dom.
Here's
Yeah, Dom's gotten better, bro. A lot better.
He has.
now,
Which
mind
is
you, this,
crazy because CM Punk, when he first started, he fought Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
yeah,
So that's
Really?
kind of
Yep,
like,
Yeah.
it's
that
kind
was
of
a
like
Like in
the,
the
that match
Indies
was
though,
a
right?
yeah, he was
Yeah,
coming up.
yeah. I
so
remember that.
man. CM
this
Punk
is
was a part of Raven's stable back in the early days of TNA.
Nice.
Raven, he's also in my top
It
10
was
too.
it was
Raven's up there.
Raven, CM Punk, and Julio De Niro, the Gathering, I believe they called themselves.
Now, here's my opinion on the retirement match, and I would prefer the one you guys said, but this is how I see WWE booking it, not how I want it to happen. This is my opinion on what WWE is going to end up doing.
Sure.
They are going to try to turn Dominic face.
I don't
Judgment
think that
Day.
can, I don't think that can happen. The only way that can happen is if he helps somebody win like a world title or something.
But again, this is like how
Yeah,
WWE does
right.
shit.
Now you're right. Go ahead.
I do not want this to happen because even though I don't really care for Dom, he is one of the best heels. It's one of the best pops. But
He has the best heel pop of all time.
yeah. So I see Dom turning face to help support his dad again. Not because of Ray getting screwed over, but Dom getting screwed over and Ray coming to his aid. It may not be this WrestleMania. It could be next Mania if Ray's still around. If he allows it, they might rush it. But I feel like, unfortunately, Ray's retirement match is going to be a tag team match of Ray and Dom versus Finn and JD McDonough. Unfortunately,
Ooh.
and it's gonna be his send off to tell Dom you're ready, and Dom's gonna pick up the win over Finn Balor, and that is gonna be Ray saying, "You did it. This is your moment. I'm leaving. You are now the Mysterio of professional wrestling." I hate that idea. I think it'd be a great storybook ending for him, for Ray, but turning Dom face is going to be one of the dumbest decisions, and it's bound to happen because of the conflict that Ray and Dom are going at it right now. They're not going to turn Finn Balor face because Finn Balor is more of the quote-unquote leader.
They want to bring the Demon Balor back, so they can't.
But they don't have
with him being a
they don't
face.
have no demons for him to battle though. Like
That
the only
Balor
way
didn't come out only for demons, bro.
I know, but he came out for Brood Edge. He came out for like vicious characters that are
DVD's
demons,
demon
too.
only comes out to fight demons.
He came out to fight
true.
Roman.
This is 100% accurate. what he
Roman,
said.
Seth Rollins,
Yeah, so
Bray
I mean,
Wyatt.
Edge.
yeah.
So
So
you see,
like,
he fought Bray Wyatt though. You get what I'm saying? Like
That
I
match
think
didn't get to go through because Bray Wyatt got locked up. Bray Wyatt was supposed to
the
fight at Sister Abigail.
the whole Wyatt thing, like that's the last like Undertaker kind of thing that we're ever gonna get.
That's what Undertaker told him in his ear. It was like basically passing the torch, like
Like
get
this
the
is
Lord
you
of
now.
Darkness
Like
now.
yeah,
I think Brave was the wrong choice for that. There's one other person I feel like could have picked up that mantle and ran with it better.
Who's that?
Are
Aleister
they
Black.
active? Or
Aleister Black.
I feel like the fact that he was with Selena Vega and they wanted to make Selena Vega look like she was with Andrade at the time. That part didn't fly with him.
Well, the reason why he left is because he's also a streamer, and so is Zelina, and he's like, no, I'm not going to quit doing it just because you told me to.
Xavier Woods streams.
Yeah, which is dumb that he's like the only one that's allowed to do it.
And they let him do it in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like while everybody's backstage everybody's fighting, the niggas backstage.
Well, because WWE gets
streams and shit.
WWE gets a profit of up, up, down, down. That's why they allow him to do it.
So when Xavier Woods turns heel, which is coming soon, yeah. So what do you think? They're gonna give him a real good push, or they're gonna give him one of those shitty pushes?
To become, because technically at the beginning, I think it was this year, he did try to do the solo push. They tried with King of the Ring, that failed.
Yeah, but because he was injured though. That's because he was hurt.
Bloodline crushed that, and then they tried again with him being by himself, and that shit didn't work. So now they're gonna try it, but with him being here.
This is how I.
Hold on, I'm gonna put this out there real quick.
Shoot.
All right, I think it was this past Raw. There was a backstage segment with Kofi and but this is the flip side. Everybody's thinking that it's gonna be Xavier Woods that's gonna turn heel. But if you look closely, I was reading up on this. If you look closely in the interview, Kofi had a black shirt on and he had a silver chain on, and the pendant on the silver chain was the Majin Buu fucking M on the silver chain. So it's like it's like a little Easter egg. Like Kofi's the one that's gonna turn heel and turn his back on Xavier Woods, getting tired of how he's acting and how he's acting out and shit. And he's the one that's gonna turn on Xavier.
But Xavier Woods is the one doing the trash talking, like he looks like he's the one gonna turn.
But with that little Easter egg with Kofi wearing the Majin, fucking chain, Majin Buu, Majin Vegeta, like it's a sign.
It's the dark side. Like if you watch Star Wars, that's the Sith.
Yeah, like, so it's like they're making it seem like Xavier is gonna be the one, and then watch it turn out to be Kofi turn his back on him.
See, I had that thought, but I also have one other thought that I could see happening. So it's still Xavier Woods turning on Kofi. Then we get to right before the Rumble. Rumble happens. Xavier and Kofi are going at it in the ring. Xavier eliminates Kofi. Returning only maybe for a short time, Big E to try to reconcile with everything. And there's no reconciling with Xavier. So it ends up being a type of thing where Kofi has a kayfabe injury. So now it's going to be Big E and Xavier fighting. And then after like maybe a month or two, Kofi comes back and tries to bring the group back together again.
To keep it real with you, I did see something like that happening, but this is the problem. Big E's actually really good at commentary. And once you're really good at something, they might want to keep you.
They're gonna keep you for that, yeah.
Which I get, but
Pat
maybe
McAfee's
this is
coming back too. Don't forget.
But maybe this is what they're trying to do, though. They're maybe trying to make people think like going the Samoa Joe or like the Wade Barrett route when they were in WWE is commentating instead of wrestling. So maybe they're doing this with Big E to keep him on screen and like even play a part of that. Like let's say Big E's commentating the show, right?
I do think he's ready, like he's ring ready to come back. But I just think that those Big E. But I think those comments.
I heard he got
remember he broke his neck.
He got career ending.
Yeah, they said that Daniel Bryan and a lot of people.
He's been doing stem cell surgery shit.
But
now I would say I wouldn't risk it.
No, stem cell research.
I wouldn't risk it either.
No, I mean, to get back in the ring. Like just to get back in the ring, I don't know. I wouldn't
I mean, because I know in sports is legal. Like in NFL, it's legal to use stem cell. I don't know about the NBA though, but in the NFL, it's legal to use
But maybe with him staying as commentating, maybe could be a long driven story where instead of like the Rumble, have it be like Xavier turning on Kofi or whatever, and during that time, Big E's sitting there trying to commentate with something, and he gets off like out of the podium or wherever he's standing and tries to reconcile, and like Xavier hits Kofi, Big E or something.
So bottom line, like when it all said and done, if Xavier Woods goes solo, how far he's going? From your opinion, like from everybody in here, how far is Xavier Woods going?
Listen, to cement the legacy, of the New Day, they would have to give him a title run.
He has to win the world title.
Yeah,
no, because
he would have to win the world title.
Already cemented, but to cement his part into the New Day, he needs the world title.
Yeah,
to have a faction that actually has
Kofi's
all
already
members.
Grand Slam. Big E, I think the only thing he's missing is the United States. And Xavier never won a single title.
I could see them giving it to him just for that aspect, but I'm not really going to give a full-on input of it only because I never really cared for Xavier Woods. Even when he was in TNA as whatever Apollo Creed or Apollo Crews, whatever.
Apollo Crews.
I think
that's comedy.
No, it was Apollo Creed. It was Apollo Creed.
That's comedy though. It's regardless of the name.
It's like I never cared for him. There's just something about him that
there's some people like Austin Theory to me. Like I see the potential in him. I know he's nice, he's good, but like to me, like I don't want to see him as like the face of anything. You get what I'm saying? Like he's.
You know why I think he don't win the world title right now? Because of what happened with Randy. Remember when they first gave Randy the world title? They thought he was ready, but realistically he wasn't for his first world title. He was so young, so they don't want to.
Which Randy? You
talking about Randy Orton, and when he first won his first world title run, he became super cocky, disrespectful backstage, telling people to mop him off and all that. And they don't want to make that same mistake with the new generation. Yes.
See, I think Austin Theory has it all. Honestly, he is so good in the ring.
I think that him and Dolph Ziggler were like the highest potential that WWE had in their contract. Well, like in the roster, and I was like, you guys don't even use these motherfuckers.
They didn't drop the ball with Dolph. Dolph asked Vince before Vince left for Dolph to leave.
But Dolph was
asked to leave.
I know, but even before all that, like when Dolph was at his like highest point, Dolph was so damn talented, and they did nothing,
bro. Like he was super great. Like he could have been like one of the greats. You know what
That's
I mean?
when they was pushing Seth and Roman.
Yeah.
Cena.
That was because of that time. Yeah, of course. And to be honest with you, Roman only got because Roman is really not that good on the mic, and he's not good at like anything else besides whatever they
cut you off
for being a yes man. Roman, no, for Roman Reigns being who he is, let's be realistic. Like a lot of people can honestly say and have a good argument to say that he's a little bit overrated because hold up, wait,
a little.
What I'm saying, a little, yeah, because he's not bad either. I'm not saying he's terrible, but he's a little overrated because he doesn't do like half the shit that Rock used to do. You know what I mean? And The Rock earned his respect no matter what. Even if he was in a little bit of time frame in WWE, like he earned it because he had his own signature shit. And The Rock was The Rock. You know what I mean? But honestly, to me, between The Rock and Stone Cold was like the way better wrestler out of anybody in the Attitude Era, so he deserved to be like the world champ. I think he should have had the Roman Reigns like run like 1,000-something days with the title out of anybody, but because of the injuries and shit, you know, I get it. But what the Roman thing, what I was trying to say before anything, like the Roman thing, like he's turning into one of those Brock Lesnar, Goldberg kind of guys. You get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't really have a lot to show. that shows that Cody Rhodes is actually a better competitor and a more talent than him. And it's sad to say because I think Roman Reigns is one of the greatest of all time. But
see, I have a hard time agreeing and saying that Roman is one of the greatest of all times because.
Okay, so then you agree with what I just said then?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Okay.
I think he is highly overrated, not a little.
Highly though? That's crazy.
Okay, think about it.
Crazy. Highly's crazy. But explain. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, so Roman Reigns would not be where he is without Paul Heyman. That's part one.
Same thing with Brock Lesnar though.
I agree, but because I also think Brock Lesnar is highly overrated, though CM Punk could do it without Paul Lesnar.
CM Punk could have did it without. Yeah, he could have did it without Heyman.
The only reason he even had Heyman
he did
is
have
because
the belt without Heyman, and no one remember those.
I do, but the only reason that Punk had Heyman is because
answer backstage. That's what I heard. But anyway, go ahead.
Heyman saved Punk's career literally because Heyman told McMahon, "Let me put him under my wing." That wasn't just some sort of thing to make him better. Punk could have done it without him, but I also feel like Lesnar is the most athletic but overrated person because Heyman is what made Lesnar who Lesnar is in WWE. Roman is only as popular as what he was as like the head honcho bloodline, whatever, because of Heyman. The only reason I say that I find Roman Reigns.
Hold up. Before anything, I want to before I cut you off and whatever, my bad. But the best Roman Reigns gimmick that we've had is the tribal chief.
I'll agree, but that's not setting the bar high.
Go ahead.
Because the Shield thing, I can't just say is his own gimmick because he kept that for so long, even after the Shield broke. That was a faction gimmick, not just his. Mm-hmm. The big dog. How many fucking dogs have we had in professional wrestling? That's not original. That's not organic. They've said the same shit with every single dog character there is. This is my house, blah, blah, blah. So that's not really setting the bar high.
Dog, my bad to cut you off again. The real big dog in the modern day right now?
There's only one answer. Braun Breaker.
That's it.
Braun Breaker is
with the big dog.
But so when you say that's his best gimmick, yes, it is. But again, that's not just his gimmick. Without having his cousins, without having Heyman, without having all that support, there would have been no tribal chief gimmick. So to say he's the greatest of all time, I have to say no because excuse me.
He's only the greatest of all time because of the title reign that he had.
And the people around him.
Almost 4 years with it,
Yeah, but that's the thing is it wasn't just him. That is why I say overrated for him because
the greatest tag teams of all time, you could honestly say is either the New Age Outlaws or the Usos.
Yeah,
or Legion of Doom.
I mean, there's a lot that you could put for the best tag team, but that's the thing is they are known for being a tag team. They are known for being the best of having more than one person with them. Being the greatest of all time means you have to be able to do it alone, and Roman never showcased that. Anytime he did it alone, it was dull, it was boring, it was repetitive. There was nothing new when he came back except having his faction. So to say, well, Roman's the greatest of all time, no. Roman was only great because of everyone around him, not because of himself. All Roman had was an aura around him and facial expressions. That's all Roman had for himself.
So listen to me here.
Hold on. Real quick.
No, hold on.
Yeah, shoot.
Roman, the reason those people around him, he wrote that story. That's his story. Everything that is happening right now is Roman's story. He wrote all of this right now. So it was not just for him to get his shine. It's for the whole family to get the shine.
Which I get. I mean, but for me, to say someone is the greatest of all time, they have to have all aspects of the business, all in whole. Being able to have a great mind, but not be able to showcase it in the ring. It's like Bray Wyatt. He had a great mind, but I may get hate for this. He was horrible in the ring. He had a couple good things that he could do, but that is why all of his gimmicks failed, is because it had a great story, a great thing, but he had nothing to show for it for himself to be able to prove that he was the person for that.
That's interesting.
That's
Because
why the Fiend didn't work.
A lot of people, because I'm gonna tell you one thing, and a lot of people might hate this little comment that I'm about to say, but I think that Bray Wyatt was a little bit more experienced. Well, not experienced. No, I'm gonna take that back. He was more entertaining in the ring than the Undertaker.
I don't disagree with that,
Or I'm bugging. Because
but at the same time,
Undertaker was one of those big guys, but he had a lot of moves in his arsenal. That's the only good thing about the Undertaker. Like, he'll give you at least a 20 to maybe 30-minute match. He can give you those. Goldberg,
But
Brock
Bray was just
Lesnar.
better at the storytelling.
Yeah, Bray was better at storytelling.
Bray was a great storyteller, but that's the thing, is it ended there. It ended when the bell rang to start the match, because he didn't do a lot to really wow the crowd. That is why all of his ideas failed. Isn't because like Vince didn't believe him at the beginning, because Vince did believe in him in the beginning, but because he couldn't do anything to like show why he should be this great heel, why he should be this like monster of a man, when in reality there was nothing that he did that showed it.
I think he had a little. His storylines were like, they were top tier. Like,
again, yes, storytelling,
like,
storylines, yes.
Storytelling, yeah, the storytelling, like the Undertaker and the when they had the Ministry of Darkness. If they wouldn't have did the corporate Ministry of Darkness and like killed it, that shit would have killed. Like, he had the Big Show. Remember when if he would have pulled in the Big Show, then he had Viscera and everybody else that was part of the ministry, like, the
Imagine
APA.
he would have pulled in Kane and fucking.
Oh my God, bro!
See,
it would have been over. Imagine something like that. But they wasn't thinking like that back then. You know what I mean?
Personal opinion: Kane is better than the Undertaker.
Wow.
I was a Kane fan over the Undertaker.
I hear that.
I was trying to tell you that yesterday.
That
Kane before he came in.
But Kane had only.
No, the reason why I can vouch for that, because before he came in,
yeah, sure.
Kane in the Indies had his own moveset. He did his own shit. It's just when they brought him in, they were like, all right, you could do nice, but we want you to fight like Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? They gave him Undertaker's move, but he could do a lot more. All that jumping off the top ropes, that was on him, bro. He was doing that shit in the Indies.
Fucking Dr. Isaac Yankum, DDS.
How the fuck do you make a dentist gimmick work? And he did.
Yeah, that shit was weird.
I don't know. It's just my personal opinion. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care, because, again, my own opinion. I always felt that Kane was the better of the two. I just felt like, as a big guy, he moved better than Taker did. I mean, the only thing that I feel like Taker did better than Kane was the Tombstone Piledriver, because Kane had that weird one where, like, half the time he would hold them on the side of his shoulder rather than in the middle like Taker does, which I just always thought looked wonky. But, like, I don't know. I just felt like Kane moved a lot more smoothly in the ring than Taker did.
He didn't want balls in his face.
Right. I mean, that's fair. But that's all. I mean, he also did a falling powerbomb, though. So he still got balls in his face, and he went down to the ground with them. But I don't know, when it, I've told people this time and time again, and a lot of people are like, wow, that's crazy. It's just like, personally, I always preferred Kane over Taker. But I feel like Bray Wyatt was a mind too late in the business. If he had been around in that time, like with Prime Taker and all those, I felt like he would have been one of the greatest ones, because back then, people focused more on the storytelling of wrestling than actually what happened in the ring. Now, and I feel like we're going back into that, but for the past 10, 15 years, it's been more, what can people do in the ring to surprise us and wow us than storytelling?
Yeah, than storytelling.
That's why I'm telling you, Roman saved the business, bro.
Question: since you stated how you feel about Bray Wyatt, how do you feel about the Uncle Howdy in the Wyatt Six? Do you feel like they tarnishing
Should have never done it.
Legacy? Yeah.
Should have never done it. I mean, I get trying to keep the legacy alive, dude. No, it should have, rest his soul. I hate the fact that he did pass, because regardless of me not liking his character, he was a great human being. this is a spit in the face of what he wanted. Because he was supposed to be a ominous creature, like very just not really demonic, but like things that you didn't want to find under your bed type of gimmick, right? Like just very spooky, just make you get chills in the back of your neck type of character. They went from having the Wyatt Six be these murderous animals. Like when they first debuted, they had half the fucking people looking like they were dead behind the scenes, and then did nothing with that, to now just being kind of misfit jokes in a sense, where people are like, "Oh, we've got to find him. We've got to find him. Oh my God, look what they." There's no love in it, I think, anymore with it. There's no. Like all of the love that Bray did for his character and what he wanted to do with like his factions and whatnot, it's not there. It doesn't give the same deliverance that Bray Wyatt did.
It's fair. I can see that. I hear that.
It's all the same now. Like even the kidnap.
So you don't think Uncle Howdy is carrying the flag right?
No, he threw that flag on the ground and stomped on it and took a shit on it.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think the gimmick works. It's just you got to show me more wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Because like the people that he has, like the bunny rabbit, what's his name?
Is that Eric Rowan?
The big tall guy, the bald.
Eric Rowan.
Right. Like he's useless. Like he doesn't belong in the ring. He should be like a bodyguard or like somebody that holds you down.
Oh, speaking of like bodyguard and stuff,
Nikki Cross, it works, but everybody else, it works.
Just not. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm going right back to what I was talking about Bray Wyatt, and then we can continue this. You saying bodyguard made me think of it. Bray Wyatt's legacy as a person of who he was when he was in the business before he passed, I feel like he would have been a better manager than a wrestler.
A manager to who?
Like the Wyatt, like a Wyatt family type thing. Like, don't have him be like the person that wrestles in all the matches. Have him be a manager to the Wyatt family, and like interfere in certain matches and stuff like that, rather than being a full-time wrestler. I feel like that would have made his career as like in the business better. So that way he could still give the knowledge and the storylines without kind of squandering it in the ring because he had so little to offer. But anyway, that's just my opinion on that. But I agree with you on the fact that they don't allow them to wrestle as much, and they're only focusing on like tag team matches. But it's like, it just, I just don't think it works, in my opinion.
That's why it doesn't work, because you're not showing us wrestling matches, and like you're not making them look like the title interested. You know what I mean? Like they're not interested in titles. They're just interested in what? Beating up
different teams and factions
at the moment. Like Chad Gable, The Miz. These are like, I don't know.
But another thing
that characters.
Another thing that doesn't
for like the Bloodline or something like that, like the Judgment Day, then they're reaching for something good.
Right.
Well, they can't right now because everyone's tied up in something. Though you also got to understand that if you're talking about
what is
storytelling.
the Judgment Day really tied up in?
They're still going at it with wasn't it still going at with? Well, I haven't really watched. So Damian Priest and shit, or
not really. No? Damian Priest has kind of been in like limbo with his stuff right now. He's kind of doing a thing with, isn't Gunther still?
I didn't even know that. See,
Judgment Day is kind of. This is the thing that I can't stand about the Judgment Day. And we are completely off course of where we're talking, but that's okay. It's wrestling. We can talk about everything. The issue that I've always had with the Judgment Day is the titles, when it comes to Judgment Day, have always taken the back seat to everything else involving them. When Damian was the champ, when Rhea was the champ, and I think at the same time they were holding the tag team champs titles too. They rarely really defended. They were always Damian was more of a babysitter to Dom than he was being the world champion. Rhea rarely ever defended. She was just being the love interest to Dom. It was always backseated to some sort of stupid love interest, love triangle, whatever it was, instead of being the champions of their show. It was a joke to have all of them hold the titles when they were rarely getting defended or rarely being shown as the show's champions rather than the babysitters to little Dominic. Because like think about the Liv Morgan thing when she was like
the
being
whole
all
Judgment Day theme was to build up Dominic. Because all of them individually, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, were all megastars on their own.
yeah, it was, and that's pretty much what it was. But I think they did it the wrong way because it was like it did more to showcase Liv Morgan than it really did Dom. It was all about some stupid love triangle between Dom, Liv, and Rhea, and it was like you guys are really putting all this into one thing, but yet you are hurting the reputation and like the legacy of being a champion by being backseated for a love interest.
This is true.
Because think about it, like when all this shit was going down before Dom turned on Rhea and all this shit. When you see
that's the thing with WWE too. Like that shit is mad predictable. Like everything that we've been seeing for the last couple years, ever since Roman got the title in the COVID era, everything has been predictable. Everything has been like, all right, we already know what's gonna happen here. It's just like right now we can predict that Seth Rollins is gonna be the 5th member of the OG bloodline. Can we not?
I don't think
I
so.
think it's Brock Lesnar. To me personally, I think it's Brock Lesnar.
You're gonna have to go watch SmackDown, bro.
Yeah, you have to go watch it.
Wait. Don't blow that up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go watch SmackDown.
I saw it on Facebook. It's a disgrace. It's pointless. But I get it. I get what they're building up for. You'll get it too.
So did they reveal who the 5th member is? At least tell me that. Don't tell me who, but
don't tell me who. Yeah, but did they did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, you'll see. You'll understand it. If you watch wrestling, you're gonna understand what's gonna happen.
I'm actually gonna watch it after we get off here. But here's so without me knowing who it is, this is how I thought would have been a great idea. Obviously, it's already been decided. Y'all have watched it. I haven't.
I haven't watched. I just saw a post.
You saw.
Yeah,
Okay,
seen it on Facebook.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge of it. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going in blind with my opinion.
I won't blow it up. I'll just stay shut. You're good.
So this would have been my idea, regardless of what happens. So Seth finally agrees to be the 5th member tonight, whatever, when the show was. Like during the show of Survivor Series. Survivor Series is tomorrow, right?
No,
it's
next Saturday.
Week. Yeah,
what the fuck? I thought it was okay. Anyway,
okay,
so
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was getting excited. I thought
it's the last day of the month, right?
Yeah.
How many days we got this month? 30?
30.
Yeah, 30.
Okay, so I still have time, whether it be next Friday or the show itself.
Yeah.
Seth gets attacked backstage and cannot perform in the Survivor Series.
Let's go. I love this. Keep going. Keep
So
going. You're writing a story.
Let it be at Survivor Series, not SmackDown. Let it be during Survivor Series. The 4 come out, Roman, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy. Out of nowhere, you hear, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, think about this long-term booking. He says, don't worry, unfortunately what happened to Seth Rollins. I have found you a 5th member. And then you hear CM Punk's music hit.
Oh, hell no.
No.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'm with David on this one.
Long-term booking.
Wow.
I know. But listen, long-term booking.
Yeah. Let's listen. We're listening.
There was a small confrontation with Solo Sikoa's bloodline, Paul Heyman, and CM Punk. CM Punk was in the ring with Heyman. Heyman asked Punk, "Take me with you."
I remember that.
I do.
It was one of the last times Paul Heyman was on TV before he got that power bomb
He's
through the
right
table.
about that because I remember that too. That was on Raw, actually.
No, SmackDown.
It was
So
SmackDown. You're right. It was SmackDown.
So CM
My
Punk,
thing is maybe I could go off the same thing you said, but instead of CM Punk, you hear the Beast Incarnate music.
I hear the Beast Incarnate too. I think
Now-
the Beast Incarnate.
Nope. It better not. It better not.
See,
I think, but let's be real. Hey, let's be real.
No,
hey.
let's not be real. Let's not be
Who
real.
will pop? Who will pop more, CM Punk or Brock Lesnar?
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Really?
Yes.
Explain
I
why
think
CM
it's
Punk
a-
will
I
pop
think
more. Please explain why
is
CM
not
Punk
the way
will
to
pop more.
go, but whatever.
But let me hear why CM Punk will pop more than Brock Lesnar.
Because with Brock Lesnar, it's always
Explain
predictive.
Explain both, though. Go ahead.
Okay. Brock Lesnar, despite, he's athletic, he's talented, he's whatever, his character is way too damn predictable every time he shows up.
What do you mean
CM Punk,
like,
because it's
he's
always
gonna win. Like, he's always gonna win every time he shows up.
it's always the same shit.
I just don't think CM Punk,
That's fair
not CM
enough.
Punk,
That's
Brock Lesnar is fit for that match. It doesn't.
It doesn't make
storyline-
sense.
It makes more
storyline-wise,
sense
it don't.
because
No, it doesn't.
Because of nigga Bronson Reed is a fucking almost a
That's
400
that doesn't matter. You gotta look to the last thing, like he
You
said.
think CM Punk
Last
is gonna
time he
lift
was
this
in the
nigga
ring.
up and hit him with his finisher before Brock Lesnar hits him with an F? I think Brock Lesnar could hit him with an F5 before CM Punk could lift
Hold
this
on.
motherfucker up.
I wasn't really done with my idea.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. My bad. Go ahead. It's all
Because
it's all day exclusive. Let's hear it.
Well, because I'm about to answer your statement there about what are they going to do with.
No, I know. Go ahead. Shoot.
Okay, so CM Punk comes out as the 5th member, right? What's one of the main rules of War Games before it actually, besides getting pinned? If any of your members climb out, you're eliminated, right? You're
100%. Yep.
They never said anything about if anyone else comes in. Seth Rollins limps his ass down there with a weapon or whatever, climbs the cage and starts attacking Bronson Reed. Distraction, spear by Roman Reigns or whatever, because they want to keep Roman Reigns as some god amongst men powerhouse, even though he's barely bigger than.
All right, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. They're bringing these people. No, I'm not spoiling anything. But tonight, they're bringing in all these extra people into this bloodline feud for War Games, because what's actually going to happen is either during the match or after the match, we will finally see the debuts of Hikuleu and Lance Anoa'i.
Correct.
I can see that.
Yep.
But yeah,
that's straight to the main roster.
The story's not over. Roman's not winning at War Games.
The story's never over. I think Roman Reigns is gonna fight Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat at WrestleMania for the.
For sure.
For the Ula Fala.
But that's what I'm saying is, there's never been a rule against anyone else getting in the cage. It's always been you can't leave the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't leave the cage, but it doesn't matter who comes in or what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who's to say that, during the match, Seth Rollins comes out to even the odds with Bronson Reed. Hikuleo or Lance Anoa'i comes out to help out Solo, and then vice versa. The other one of those two comes out to tries to help Roman.
So what about Zilla? Zilla's never coming to WWE?
Zilla is still wrestling. Well, he's
not ready yet.
He's still wrestling in a different place, and he's world champ. Yeah. So
he's world champ.
Yeah.
Nah, they decided to give him all these belts right now, purposely.
Yeah, on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you can't go nowhere. Stay here.
But we spoke about this last time too, DBD.
We did.
Remember,
but, it's always good to hear the update.
Yeah, remember when I said what I think would happen, what I think would be good, what would be make good feuds. They got this OG bloodline shit going on, new bloodline. All right, it's gonna come to a point where I feel that Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, being that they're gonna have their brother there, Hikuleu, they're gonna betray Solo. And Solo's gonna try to crawl his way back into the bloodline with Roman and them, with the family, and have like a family feud type of situation. So it'll be Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, Hikuleu, and most likely they'll keep Bronson Reed on their side as a 4-man, and then to take on Roman, the Usos, and Jacob, because I see Jacob going with them.
You said it was a spoiler, but it's type of reach though.
No. That's not the spoiler. That's a prediction. The
Oh,
spoiler
okay.
was the spoiler was Hikuleu and Lantana debuting on during the
I
War
think
Games
that's
match.
I think that's a reach too.
I know it's not. They've been waiting for the moment to
Yeah, I
debut.
know, but I don't think
Lance
that's the
Anoa'i has
time.
been signed. I just found out Lance Anoa'i has been signed since the summer. Hikuleu just
Yep.
signed a few months ago. They've been waiting for them to debut. They've been waiting for the
What-
perfect moment in the story for them to
This is
debut,
it.
and
That
War
was
Games is it.
that was switched. Hikuleu's been signed since summer, and Lance Anoa'i just got signed recently.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
'Cause
Lance was the second one. Hikuleu's been signed for a while. Lance Anoa'i just got official like 2-3 weeks ago.
Just pay it to. I mean, you guys. Also. I mean, no one's dumb. Everyone knows that they want Seth Rollins for CM Punk at WrestleMania. So, just
that. I
that's
mean, it's
happening.
gonna happen. It's gonna
Exactly.
happen.
Well, right around the corner of WrestleMania, you got to start to build stuff.
Or let
Shit's
Seth
gonna
Rollins to come out and fucking cost them after CM Punk
happen.
becomes
Yeah,
the fifth.
that too, right? That could happen. That's
Let Seth be pissed off at the fact that CM Punk took his spot in War Games even after he got attacked, and fucking cost them the match or attack him after the match.
Yeah, he got yeah, that's true.
I mean, same idea of mine, just spinning the narrative instead of teaming with him and trying to take out Bronson. He comes in to tries to screw over CM Punk, and then he gets attacked by Bronson again or something.
There's
I mean,
multiple ways to go.
Yeah, there's multiple variables.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find out in a week, but
It's gonna be interesting. All right. I gotta
But,
get my ass to bed.
How y'all feel about the Motor City Machine Guns, man?
love it. I've been a tag team fanatic with them ever since fucking
Yeah.
old school TNA.
I've been I got the Impact Plus. Right now I'm watching the Asylum years, and I'm finally made it to 2004. So like Chris Sabin in the beginning, he was X Division champ and shit, and this was when AJ and Jeff Jarrett going at it for the world for the NWA title. But I'm waiting for the moment where the Motor City Machine Guns debut. Right now is America's Most Wanted as the top tag team there at that point that I'm watching at. So it's like I'm watching this whole shit from like the beginning years, the evolution of it, from how it started off as a weekly preview.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of TNA myself, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
DB, did you have any actual? Did you have any more like prepared questions or anything? I know we've been going back and forth with a bunch of things, but I know you said before that you had like specific questions. I wasn't sure if we had already gone through all of them.
I think you lost him again.
Well, I don't have a question. I just have a statement. Well, you know what? Back to what you were saying about your friend that passed, and you did the attire, and you lost that attire and stuff. It's like I know that feeling because my tag team partner, who was well known within the community, Andre Storm.
Yeah.
That was my tag team partner for 3 years. I learned everything I know about creating. I've learned from him and a couple other people. Shout out to my man Mark. He helps me. He helped me out a lot. Gorilla Cruz has shown me some shit. But Andre Storm was the one that we will always bounce ideas. That was like my brother. I never met the man in my life. He was in the UK, but when we found out that he passed away, that hit a lot of us hard, and a lot of us took his most latest attire and did variations of the attire, and we had our shirts, R.I.P. brother that I made the logo for, and it's tough to lose somebody, especially if you're in this community and you're close with them, and me and Storm literally have over 20 tag team titles all over EFEDs throughout the fucking community. Over 20 tag team titles. Like we've got 5 tag team titles in GEW alone. 5 tag team title runs. One we didn't even lose the titles. We just gave them up. But He's taught me everything I know, and I've been trying to keep his legacy alive with with the creations and stuff. I've recreated some of his characters that he's made in the past, and I've went through a lot of trouble to get the logos and stuff for them, but
Yeah,
they've worked out. But I
yeah.
Yeah,
Me
mean,
and
we went
him,
to
me and him,
older ones, older 2Ks to get some of them.
me and him
yeah,
used to always bounce ideas back and forth. Like when I found out about his creating, I actually went to him before I even started getting some advice, and we not spend a lot of time talking, but like a decent amount bouncing ideas, like showing each other stuff, like getting a mutual respect as creators. So like it hit hard being someone in the same like community, but yeah, I knew dude was a great dude.
yeah. He was literally like my brother. Like that was even our storyline gimmick. We were half brothers. My daddy was a Rolling Stone. Daddy was a Rolling Stone. He had a kid over here, and then he had a kid in the UK. And me and him met up, and because the way we met was crazy. We met, and it was over. We fought over the world title in another Fed that I will not mention. But
Oh, so you know Storm too.
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
said he knows Storm. Yep.
not like a lot, like
Not
most people have, more or less as like a mutual respect person with creations and whatnot.
yeah. He was always good at giving advice and trying to help people out with logos and stuff.
Yeah, he always gave back.
Definitely did. That was my brother, man. Shit. He was the UK Rican because since you're the newest signee of GEW, I have my faction. I started my faction. I did something historic, and I started my faction day one. Day one that I got in, I picked one guy off of a faction that he had just joined. I got this other kid, and it was us three for a while. The family has grown since then, but we have been we've held on. We've touched probably every title in GEW. Like one person has touched this title, this title, this title. Probably held all the titles, but PRX is one of the OG factions, along with like DWO is an OG faction. Shit, Midas technically isn't a faction, but they're OGs
The
group as
grave
well.
diggers.
The Grave Diggers, all 50 variations of them.
Now
Yeah,
this, but let's be realistic. Even though there's been like three versions of the grave diggers, you could say maybe two or three versions, but realistically, we always kept the name and we always made noise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
see,
like,
I have an old rivalry with PRX in a different league.
really,
Oh, did you?
really, let's hear
Not
it.
as DMK or anything. Um, but there was a time I had a guy by the name of Suzuki Inoki in a Fed, and I teamed up with a guy who
All right, I know who you are now. I know who you are. You BW. You're in BWC. Huh?
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
am, and
Yeah. So
um,
okay, now I know exactly who you are now. Yeah. So yeah, it's I have my version of PRX in GEW, which is where it was born, and then I have my version of PRX in BWC,
yeah,
which Dimebag is a part of. Y'all
yeah,
heard it here first.
but
Fuck
a lot of
BWC. Shit, you heard?
when a
Shit.
lot of when a lot of
He put
internal
you in the
shit.
hot seat. Hold on, hold on, hold on. He got the shirt. Take a picture. I need to see the shirt.
Shit. Nah, let me stop. Yo.
Yeah,
Before I mean to cut you off, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up in like 7 hours. Ego, I sent you a text. I think I got it. I'm gonna check it before I go out in the morning.
Ladies and
Yeah, check it
gentlemen,
out. See if it
A.
works. See if it
Jizzle,
works.
Oh, I got
CEO,
you. I
founder,
downloaded it.
Yo, good
GW
night, my
Global
brother.
Productions.
Appreciate it. I love y'all, man. Wings up. God
Love you
bless.
too, brother.
All right, hey,
Appreciate it.
God, be
Keep doing
safe.
your thing. I'll talk to you on the chat.
yep, yep.
Yes,
But
All
sir.
right.
but there was some internal conflicts that happened within the faction that I was in, and I killed off the character because I just, after everything was all said and done, I just had no drive for that character anymore, and it was really hard for me to get my foot planted with a male character in that league. So I just mainly focused on Gracie Gloss because she's probably one of the most dominant forces in that Fed. And
she is good. I've seen the matches.
All right, let me ask you. All right, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say that she's the only person there to hold 2 titles at once for 6 consecutive months.
You're a Grand Slam champion.
I mean, DMK.
Have you ever been a Grand Slam champion in any EFED that you're in? Like
multiple,
like right now. Really?
Yeah, but
this guy's a Grand Slam champ.
I've been Grand Slam champ, the longest reigning champ,
heavyweight champ, all that good shit. I've been the longest reigning heavyweight champion, GW.
Only because we were on a hiatus.
Yeah, I know he was gonna say that, but yeah. But yeah, he could vouch for it because he knows I was holding that throne down.
Yeah, but Gracie Gloss held like the women's world title and like the U.S. title in BWC for, I think it said, about 6 months. And I'm not even just in females, but in females and males in that league. Gracie is the longest reigning dual champion.
Yeah, I haven't been in the chats. I haven't been in those chats much. I'll pop in every now and then, but there's a certain somebody I don't get along with at all in there, so I try to stay clear from the chats.
Nope, that's fine.
I
feel it after everything went down with the
crazy part is that you know exactly who that person is, and you probably have problems with that person as well too. Because
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Wait, weren't you partnered up with fucking Bobo the Clown at one time?
That's who I was talking about.
Yeah. You partnered up with Bobo the Clown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bobo the Clown.
Yeah. So I got put in a
made that character.
I got put in a random tag team with him. Yeah, I got put in a random tag team with him for a minute using Suzuki, and Suzuki was like a strong style Japanese character. He didn't really have a full on gimmick. He just was a ass kicker in a sense.
Yeah.
And I got paired with Bobo somehow. I think he needed a tag partner because his partner left the chat or whatever. And I was like, fuck it. I've got nothing going on with my character right now. I'm down. And we ended up holding tag team gold for a while. And I created this story where Bobo's clown presence took over me.
Small EFED world.
And my dude became a clown too. Like his influence took over me. Well, long story short, I'll be honest. So
in a sense, it's like he turned you out.
Pause.
So what happened is an official 2K account for WWE 2K released the moves from like the pack that had the hidden blade and that one finisher from the corner where he does like the spinning kick first and then like the moonsault, shooting star press knee drop. An official 2K account released those movesets in a moveset thing on CC. And I grabbed it and I told them like these moves aren't officially like in the game yet. It's part of a pack. You can choose to put that moveset on my character or not. It's up to you. I don't care. All I'm letting you know is I have a new moveset that I'm using for myself and I put it on CC for people to use. Well, we were in a different Fed together when I told one of the managers, and they booted me from the Fed saying I was cheating, which I wasn't because the moves weren't even in the Fed yet because they were just on CC as a moveset. The dude behind Bobo was a management there. They kicked me out of my own faction. I'm the one who came up with the faction idea for me and Bobo. Me and him were the front runners. They kicked me out, blocked me, didn't say a word to me. All because I said I have a moveset that has moves that have not been officially added to the game yet that an official 2K account posted on CC.
What league is this? The Bandit?
Okay, does this
kind of like what they did to Edge.
Does it start with a K?
No, it starts with a G.
Day.
Oh.
So they kicked me out of the faction without saying a word. They blocked me. Nobody would respond to messages. They were being fucking bitches behind the screens.
That's crazy.
And I hit up the main dude of BWC or whatever, and I'm like, listen, this is what's going on. I'm done with the character. I'm done with this.
GFW?
No, I think it was GPW. I think it's the Fed that kicked me out. I think it was GPW.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they relevant.
Yeah, it was
GP or GB?
The only
P.
league that
P as
starts with a
in
G that we acknowledge, like us within this circle right here, is GEW mainly, obviously, and GBW now, which is
Yeah.
Game Breaker Wrestling.
No, it was GPW. I think it's like golf.
We fuck
Something.
with MMW too.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about what this
Yeah.
starts with a G.
Oh,
Yeah, it was GP. P as in Pinocchio. Yeah, they removed me from all the things. I was like a champion in every single one of their shows. Never had a problem. Was cool with all of them. And just because I messaged a manager and saying, "Hey, I have a moveset ready," you do not need to download it if you don't want to, because I know they're not official moves yet. They are leaked moves that a official 2K account posted.
All right, so hold
CC.
up before you continue. Before anything, are there EFEDs out there that actually ban moves like this, like that they do these things? Like,
Yes, there are EFEDs who ban moves,
you
and
have
there's some
to tell them.
EFEDs who will
You have
even
to tell them
change your
before.
shit.
Yeah, there are feds.
Go ahead.
There are feds that will say these moves are not allowed because they are considered broken or busted, and then if you have them, they will change your shit if you don't fucking listen, or they will kick you out. Now the thing is though these moves were released before the DLC was announced, and again, I showed them a screenshot. It had an official 2K stamp on their fucking name, so an official 2K account posted these moves ahead of time before they were actually released, and you were able to use it as long as you downloaded the moveset and posted it on your character. So I told them what to do, and I said, you do not have to do this if you don't want to, because I know accounts have been like banned for it before or whatever, and I'm like, don't do it if you don't want to. I'm not telling you to. I gave them the option if they wanted to risk it, because everybody and their mother had these moves when they leaked it. Dude, they fucking didn't say a word. They kicked me. And I'm like, okay, it's a Fed. I don't give a shit. So I try to go to this one chat to see what was going on, because two of the people that were managers in that Fed were a part of the faction. Said I was banned from that fucking chat group, that I didn't have, like, open the chat, like start it, but I was a founding father of the faction.
This is crazy.
And the dude behind Bobo would not respond to a single message that I tried sending him, saying, dude, what is going on? And all he would say was, talk to whatever his name was that fucking banned me or whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm talking to you. Like, we started this shit, and it was a part of a different Fed. This had nothing to do with
this. Look at this.
You see this? Bobo's a scumbag, bro.
Wow.
So I hit up
better from him, and we put him on. Me and Jeannie, me and this lady that I just tagged right here. She's goated, by the way. Shout out to WWM.
I know her.
Me and her, bro. We built this guy Bobo the Clown, like literally. Like, he had no. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, but no, it was just.
He went from GD to fucking Bobo the Clown.
You know what it is, Savage.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
But I gave him pointers on how to do things better. I gave him tips on moves to use. I gave him tips on how to make his character better. Dude, I helped him fucking elevate his shit. But it's like
that part.
Oh wow.
Nah, it's crazy. It's like, you see, things like this is what needs to be acknowledged. You feel me? So, like, if I go to you and be like, hey, All Day, listen, my controller got fucked up right now, right? I need you to do me a favor, because I know you're nice with it, so I need you to, like, do this and do that to my call. Can you do that for me real quick, and then upload them? Blah blah blah. You know what? The thing is, my core is not re-uploadable. You know what I'm saying? So you would know, your common sense would know to be like, you know what? I'm gonna copy, and I'm gonna make them all over again using the same moves from the just copy the move sets, just copy the look, copy the attire. Obviously, there's ways around it, and we did this for certain people. You get what I'm saying? And they don't acknowledge. All I wanted, like I always said, like, I run my own show, run Fight Club. Is different. Nobody has a Fight Club thing with the WWE, because I've checked. I promise you, nobody has this. So the matches that I have in Fight Club is unique. It's different. It's made up for me. My titles, everything, all made up for me. Right now, when I see the matches in other shows, why I don't get acknowledged? Like that's the part that makes me want to beef with you. You get what I'm saying?
I fucking feel that.
Yeah, man.
Cause
Like
I bet you did all that. I bet you did all that, and he didn't even say thank you.
Not even a thank you.
Because I even recreated his GD character, and I made logos and everything. I hooked it up because he wanted like a cowboy
I
team.
done made titles for that man.
Bro, we did everything for people, and all we needed, we didn't want nothing. We don't want money because it was not
just acknowledgement.
Just acknowledgement.
Yeah, just like,
the fact that
hey, thank
shout
you.
out to this person, because if it wasn't for this person, I wouldn't have did this. And you know, the only reason you're not acknowledging that person is because you know that person is always on Facebook groups. I don't know if you know, but I'm always on every Facebook group that I'm pretty sure you're in as well.
Yeah.
You see me posting something about GEW or something about my show, right? So you know who I am. You get what I'm saying? So now, if I give you an idea or I give you something that you've seen on my show, I don't want you to just say, "Yo, I'm not doing it" or whatever. I just need you to say, "Yo, I'm using this." Whatever, you could use it on your show. You could do whatever you want with it. Just say, "Yo, shout out to this person for putting me on to this because this person was the one who gave me this idea." You get what I'm saying? That's all I need.
Oh no, I get it, because I had almost the same fucking thing happen to me. So I created a title back in 2K17. I started it by calling it the Royal Flush title. What it was is kind of like Money in the Bank, but it's a title. And what you have to do is you have to defend it 3 consecutive times before you can cash it in for a world title. So
that's funny because I do that with my. I have $1 billion championship on my show, and I do it the same thing. After 3 defenses, you get the option C.
Yeah, I've been doing this title since 2K17. Now, I'm not saying, you heard it from me or nothing. Like, maybe great minds think alike. So I'm not going to discuss the specific name. I'm not going to discuss the person or the Fed. So a week later, after me and Hit announced this title, we named it something different for his show, but it's the same concept, same everything. We announced it on a live stream.
Demands in him.
And I told Hit, like, announce it during the show. We'll make a big spectacle of it. It's going to be our main attraction for our next PLE. So he does that. A week later, the show that already had an already established title, automatically the rules of this title got changed. The only difference that they changed on it was instead of 3, it was 5. So the person that was in the stream, I know they were in the stream because they were commenting in the Twitch chat that whole time they were talking in it. That same week that they ran their show, they announced this big, glorious idea. And I fucking called them out for it during their stream. I'm like, I wonder where you got that idea from. Like they didn't fucking try to hide it or nothing. Literally, their next stream, which was like 2 days after the stream that Hit was running, they announced this title with new rules, even though it was already an established title. I'm like, way to fucking steal the idea from someone else. Like, get your own fucking shit.
Yeah, we've had situations like that with people trying to start up their own versions of GEW. I had to contact some people like, nah, we've been established for a few years, bro. We got copyrights on the name and everything. Like, you can't do that. You can't use that name. So the guy went and changed it. But there's people that out there that do take matches. They'll pop into the stream low key and would be like,
we actually really do have copyrights.
Yeah, we actually do have copyrights thanks to Storm.
Yeah.
So Global Extreme Wrestling, Global Productions, but the Dimebag has a certain match, the Iron Tables match on Fight Club, the Iron Tables match.
Yeah, see, I have a specialized match too.
I have Iron Cage and Iron Tables.
See, I did this one match where it's a steel cage match no escape, pin only, because submissions in this game is fucking broke beyond belief. And I started it with Gracie Gloss in BWC, ironically enough, and I called it the Fall from Grace match.
That's the name of my finisher.
It's the name of my finisher too for Gracie.
Hey.
I have two finishers for her, being that she's, Gracie Gloss, Fall from Grace, and then she has a discus big boot that I call Lip Gloss.
Okay, that's dope.
But no, I was like Fall from Grace match.
That's crazy enough.
So just know that
It's a small world, a lot of similarities.
Just know that if you are coming over to GEW, you will end up facing Savage and PRX again, because
I'm down.
Jackson Draven's with us over here in GEW as well. I haven't gotten ECP over yet.
No, that's fine, because ECP, me and him have so much fucking respect for each other, because him and my character Suzuki were always rivaling for like the same title. It was always back and forth.
Yeah.
He'd beat me, I'd beat him. He'd beat me, I'd beat him. It was always like back and forth.
Yeah, I had some bangers though. Yeah, I had some good matches though.
But now I'm DMK and BWC now. Like, I'm taking away all my extra cause and I'm putting DMK where I'm at, because this is going to be a shock to anyone who's listening if I'm in your Fed or whatever. Pretty much, if I'm in your Fed and DMK is not in it, that's pretty much a tall tale sign that I probably will not be returning in 25, because I'm limiting my Feds to the places that are like structured correctly, that aren't just random, that aren't just thrown around this, that, and the other.
Yep.
And if it ain't DMK, it's not going to, like, I'm not going to be a part of it, because I'm straying away from all these random calls that I've been making, and I'm focusing on my major ones, and that's it.
Yeah, Savage is gonna be strictly for BWC. I mean, not GEW, but for BWC, he's gonna turn into a manager role. So I'm pretty much semi-retiring from Feds altogether. The only one I'm sticking with is GEW, because this is my home. And but Savage will be exclusive only as a wrestler, only exclusive to to GEW. BWC is going to be exclusive as a manager. I'm making a manager attire, and that's what you're getting, and that's what it's going to be. You put me with all my guys, I'll walk them down to the ring every match.
Yeah, the only place that I'm sticking with that doesn't have DMK as an official like competitor is ASW, because I am co-owner of that. And DMK is I'm using him as a official role, like executive type thing. So like when I do promos, I'm gonna have pictures of him in a suit in an office talking, and Tommy Black is my main one there. But besides that, it's like when
you come to GW, which GW, J Smoke is here, Shockwave is here. We got a lot of people from like all over the place. The thing is, like, we had a certain, like, you probably know about it. We had a little certain disagreement, and maybe like a little something that you call a beef, but it really wasn't that serious. We're a certain individual, which we're not gonna mention and shit, but
man, fuck that, mention it, because
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But the thing is, like, we continue doing our thing, because at the end of the day, you copied, and he knows he copied. Everybody knows that he copied, and there's just like they still acknowledge him as whatever, but we don't. You know what I mean? Over here in GW, we do storylines. Everything is based on story. Everything is based on like your character.
Look, our thing is global. Our thing is global productions. It's global extreme wrestling. Now, if your Fed is called this, why would you make a weekly show or whatever with the word global in it?
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, but we don't pay mind to that, because at the end of the day, we know that you stole matches too, because we had exclusive matches. Like I said, like we have now new ones that we put up on the air, like the iron tables, the iron cage. Like those are matches that nobody has had before, right? But we're using it as a Fight Club thing. So let's see if anybody takes it as their idea. If you take it as their idea, you don't give me the shout out, then you already know you're a scumbag. But
see, I've got no problem airing out something right now. Like when it comes to beef with people, there's really only one person that I have legit beef with. So as long as he ain't there, I'm good.
yeah, that's it. That's the same thing with us. Like we still, even if he is there, we still fuck with it as long as we just stay away. Like there's certain people, like like if me and you didn't get along, and we know we didn't get along because I met you in like a couple other EFEDs, then I already know, like, all right, you're cool with the owner, I'm cool with the owner, we're still gonna be here regardless. We're both gonna tell the owner, like, we're gonna stay away from each other. Like, yo, keep
Like,
DBD away from DMK. Like,
see,
there's
here's the thing.
I don't want no interaction with this man, even
I'll
if
have
he's whatever.
I'll have to hit you up later and ask if this guy's here because I'll be straight up. Even
He's not.
I don't think you know what I'm talking about, do you?
If it's related to what we were saying, then
No, it's not. It's not
All
related
right.
to what you were saying. It's completely different. I'm just saying, like, there's one specific dude that I refuse to even be in the same Fed with. Like, even if they're like, well, we won't keep you guys together. Like, no, it doesn't matter. If I see his name, I'm gonna lose it. Like, even like as a person, because I'll explain it to you later. Because this is stuff that should not be out there. It honestly, what might have been said could get you demonetized.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Wait, trust me. We don't do that.
We do this for fun.
Yeah, we do this shit for fun, man. Everything that we do is all based on fun. And if we build a storyline, bro, like, trust me, like, if I'm gonna talk about Savage, if me and Savage have a storyline going, I'm talking about Savage fucking Vega. I'm not talking about the man behind Savage Vega. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk about everything that I've seen from Savage Vega from the moment I seen him wrestle in any EFED or in the EFED that we're in and we're working a storyline. Anything that I see, I'm gonna like talk about it. I'm gonna be like, yo, this guy's trash. I'm gonna sell the fight. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, yo, this guy's this, that, whatever. I'm gonna drop the promo, do it, whatever, according to my gimmick. And even if 2K fucks me over and makes me lose the match, I'm still not even mad. Like at the end of the day, it's like whatever, bro. All right.
Yeah, but you gotta be able to take the loss the same way you take the win.
Yeah, same way you take the win, you take the loss, bro.
I take the same way every time. I mean,
you also gotta understand, you gotta have a certain chemistry with somebody that you can talk shit with them, and it's not.
Know that you can cross certain things that you can't cross with other people because it's all love between me and that person. Besides me and you, you get what I'm saying?
It's like me and Hit. We can go back and forth like with a certain way that not many other people can because we have that connection. Like me and him will straight up say to each other, like, fuck you. But at the end of the day, like we call each other brothers. Like that's my dude, and he knows whatever fucking line I cross, he knows it's not legit. So of
course,
so I get that.
It's like it's like with my like in the GW EFED, like $8, like he said, he's my brother, bro. Like me and him, we grew up together, literally, and like me and him, we could talk to each other. He could say shit to me that I will never take like offensive from somebody that I just met. Like somebody that I just met like a few months ago, even if it was like a few months ago, maybe even a year, like you still can't say what he said to me. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get you exactly. That's,
you know what I mean? Like it's because it's different, But like Savage, Ego, these guys, Demon, Genie, everybody, they legit. Like they know they can talk to me however they want because I know what they mean by it. Even though if it's like a promo, whatever it is, like I know how to take it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
At the end of the day, it's all love.
At the end of the day, it's all love. You know,
which is exactly where I was getting at because it's like I said, I'll explain to you in DMs because I'm gonna if I just ask you if this name is there, if you say no, that I don't have to worry about getting into the details.
You could actually do it in the private chat right now if you want. Well, you could like ask in the private chat and.
Oh yeah, we have. I'll just about to be like, hold up, add me to that group chat because I want to know about this person.
You can say it in the nope. You're good to go, brother.
All right. Well, let me at least explain why. So if you want to keep talking, go ahead. No.
Sure. No, that person doesn't even exist. Yeah, he doesn't even exist. Never even heard of that. Yep.
Yeah, you straight.
Yeah, you straight, man. Over here, we only had certain little things, but it was, it was It was dead already. It's pretty much dead.
If that explains it enough.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
That
wild.
that's wild disrespectful.
Overboard, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
That's wild.
Like that's not even like now we're not even like now it's not even part of the game anymore.
Now I'm gonna look out for that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's on site when I see you, you know?
It's funny because I know somebody by that name, but he from New York. He from don't know who that is either.
Good. That's all I need to worry about because I'll fuck with anybody. I don't care. If they hate me, cool. I'm still going to stay in character because I don't have a problem with them because at the end of the day, once the game turns off, they mean nothing to me. But that name, those two names right there,
of course,
like they're the ones that if I ever see the name, I'm hitting leave chat immediately.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you.
We know someone that has the second name, but he's a child, so it's obviously not the same person.
Now this dude, like his whole page is like his wrestling character. I think his wrestling character is actually that name. It's not even his real name. And the other dude I named is his cousin who defended him after saying all that shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, that shit is wild.
Yeah, we don't get in GW. We don't get that. We don't go that far. You get what I'm saying? Like,
shouldn't go that far anywhere, you know. But
we
it's
don't we don't go that far now. We don't go that far. As a matter of fact, let me explain before I ask you the final two questions. In GW, what we do is we go based on storylines. So right now, if me and you are working a storyline like DBD versus DMK, right? If we're working a storyline in GW, what we do is me, you, and the boss will be in the same chat. Now, if we're part of a faction, then we'll add the faction members also, so we can let them know what's going on, and this is what we're gonna do with the promos. You get what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, and what he does is he does backstage attacks to start off the rivalry story. So like right now it could be a match. Let's just say like Ego versus Savage. Like these two guys are going one.
That is coming soon.
Like even though if it is or if it isn't, like they two are fighting, but me and you are in a rivalry, right? But we're not on the card tonight. So what he does is he'll go and between the match between Ego and Savage, in between the match, he'll go and show us a backstage. It'll be like, oh my god, look, the camera's caught this backstage, and it's DMK versus DBD backstage. Bang, 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 bang. But he doesn't show the winner, or he doesn't show the loser, or none of that. He just shows us fighting for like a couple seconds, like a couple minutes, whatever, and boom.
Like an actual show.
Yeah, like an actual show.
Like they do on TV. Yes.
Like they do on TV. Like oh my god, boom. Like they fighting backstage. Nobody's a winner, nobody's a loser. So at the end of the day, we're fighting backstage, and the story's developing now. And now back to the action. Ego versus Savage Vega. So now you're curious to know what's going on between DBD and DMK backstage. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, what the fuck happened back there?
I'm definitely excited to get started in that.
Yeah, man. And that's when the promos come in, and that's when we go at it with the promos. Because he does that all the time. We do that, like he'll do the backstage, he'll do the parking lot, he'll do the crowd, like he'll have like us fighting in the crowd kind of shit. Like on the little side though, he'll put it on the side screen, you know.
That's
and, like,
on the stage, the rap. Sometime when you walk into the car backstage.
Yeah, like that.
In the parking lot.
It looks legit, and it's like a real segment. So that's why is goated like that. That's why we always look at it like that.
I'm gonna actually have to like go on Twitch and find the like link, or if you want to send it to me so I can like actually follow it and catch up on some of the.
It's in the chat right now, matter of fact.
Oh, duh! I'm in the fucking Discord, duh.
And the thing with the Fight Club though, like I always explain to everybody, Fight Club is not storyline based. It's not canon. Everything in Fight Club is all based on call outs. So it's like Oh, I see DMK
Fight Club
winning
is
in
mostly like the
GW.
dark matches.
Yeah, it's dark matches. It's like, yo, I want to fuck this guy up, so I'm gonna call him out and I'm gonna fight him. But I'll give you a title shot because I have my own different belts where it's
Yeah, I've
not
seen it.
like, yeah, it's like King of New York or Street Fighter Champion, King of the Cage. Like I have belts like that. It's not belts where it's like the World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental.
Right. Didn't you say you had to be up early?
Yeah, that's tomorrow though.
Oh, okay. Oh, duh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's around like 1 a.m. here, so I know you said you had a couple
It's
like
1
last questions. So
I'm gonna ask you. Let me ask you the main one, the main last one, and you can give us a little feedback or whatever. And so, in general, what's next for All Day DMK?
well, for me,
Like
the best
future, what does it hold for DMK right now?
world championships everywhere I go.
Even GW.
Hey, if I sign the contract, that's the goal. I mean, I didn't just come to be another just name on the roster. I came to be the name on the roster. That's like I said at the beginning. All day is not just a catchphrase; it's a way of life. I'm proven to be better than myself from the day before, better than anyone that steps in front of me. I'm always adapting, always changing. I never stop learning, and I never stop evolving.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Definitely.
So this is the end. You can ask me or the co-host up to 5 questions. You could even ask less. You don't even have to ask 5. You could ask 1, whatever. And we're gonna have to give you like a straight up answer. And even if it's something where we're on the hot seat, we still have to answer it.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I got like 2 or 3 questions.
Shoot.
First question, I'm going to shoot right off the rip, hot and heavy.
Who's it for?
I'm going to say you because I don't think he knows me all too well yet, and you've seen me around more.
Shoot.
What is your take on All Day DMK?
My take. Well, I'm gonna be real. Just because I'm gonna tell you like in character. I think you're official. Like you are who you say you are. I see it, whatever. But in character, I think that I'm still like the greatest that ever existed in any EFED. I don't care what anybody says. If I lose matches, I think that something is up because I feel like I'm the greatest of all time. But if I was to rate you, like compared to what I'm trying to do, I say that you're probably a year behind. But if you want to like a real like honest shit as like for respect, I think you're decent and I think you're dope. Like I think you're really good. Like you're that dude that you say you are. I agree. Like nobody could take that from you. Like you're a world champ. You're definitely 100% a world champ.
Nah, he's definitely cool. Definitely cool.
No, 100% cool. Like
I mean, we've gone back and forth, in the BWC chats for a bit, but yeah.
No,
but that wasn't with DMK though. I'm talking like
no. That was with Inoki. Yeah, but
but I told them I told them from the beginning, I'm gonna always say that DVD's like the greatest and always put myself, make it seem like it's about me always.
Okay,
he's a backstabbing
scumbag.
All right, so you know how I said in the
DMK
beginning
from ASW, from what I've seen, honestly, 100%, you are who you say you are. Like whatever you said, like you can back that up 100% because I've seen it 100%. But in character, like I said, I still think I'm the greatest of all time. So
all right, well I'll give you a retort since I've made it clear that I'm usually always in character.
Good.
You said that DMK is a year behind DVD.
Yep.
Well,
fighting
the best part about me is I don't believe that years incorporate experience, and there's no better experience than the all day experience.
Ooh.
Okay, he ready.
Oh yeah.
Love that. No, I love that.
You
No,
got the mic skills.
realistically, if I'm at a character, I think DMK is 100%. Like I said, 100% what he said he was. Like if he said he was a world champ in multiple EFEDs, what I've seen him do in ASW, I agree 100% that he is that person he says he is. You know what I'm saying? Like I back that. Out of character. In character, I'm the greatest of all time.
I'm as real as it can get. I mean, that's the problem with people that they can't handle is that, they think I'm playing a character. No, like I'm real. And when I say what I say, that's what I mean, regardless. Because DMK is not just a character. He is a philosophy. He is a statement. He is a way of life because it is my way of life.
That's dope.
And everyone fights for their own life, right? There's no more important thing in life than fighting for your own. So in character, out of character, you want to try and step up to my way of life. Again, there's no pacts between lions and men. You're stepping into the den and you ain't going to come out the same way.
Ooh. You heard it first.
But I only got one more question.
True.
GEW contract is in front of me. Where do I sign?
You sign in the bottom with blood.
Well, it's going to be yours.
Well, well, you got the contract. We are pretty good. Us here, Dimebag, Ego, myself, Demon. We're pretty much like the round table. Like,
we're board members.
Yeah, pretty much. So we talk about ideas and what how we could do this or what could we go there or so we pretty much bring the ideas to life and the stories to life in GEW. Like right now we got a gimmick going on that some of the people that DVD has backstabbed have joined forces together and created a group called the Brutal Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's dope.
But we all have our factions, and the faction's not a part of it, but they are the backup.
Right, I got you.
What I'm saying? But
so it's like DVD versus everybody.
Yeah, I even made a tag team with my GEW enemy since day one, Zay the Assassin. So we're a little tag team, and we combined the names of our factions as our tag team. So it's the Dope World Exchange.
Okay.
You'll be familiar. You'll be familiar with the storylines though soon.
Yeah.
As soon as
I'll check them out so I can get an idea of where everything's going. Maybe give you guys some ideas of where I want to kind of
Did you join the Discord?
I'm in the Discord. Yeah.
Just know that. Just shoot the shot. You know what I mean? Like do what you got to do, but already because you said it earlier. Like you're not gonna go ahead and call out the heavyweight champ because you haven't even debuted it yet, type shit.
Exactly.
But you're gonna try to make a statement. So I would say, give me the best motherfucker out here.
Have some tough skin and have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Because we're all about fun. That's all it is. It's all about fun.
Well,
we even have a trash talking area. So
I've got my consider it like a closing statement, I guess you'd call it.
Sure.
Y'all said you're like the round table?
Pretty much.
All right, well, make sure you make some room and engrave my chair with new champ on it.
Ooh.
Because even though I'm not going to be going straight for them, even though I'm not going to be going straight for them, time is money. I've got plenty of money, but I ain't got time to wait.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Okay.
He said, "I'm here for a good time, not a long time."
Now the only long time that you deal when it comes to DMK is the long time he's going to hold that title.
Okay, we're gonna.
Hey, he come at the king, he better not miss though. That's all I gotta say.
That's a fact though.
Shit,
I'm what Demon said right now.
Carmelo Hayes took don't miss from me.
We got a record right now. We got a record right now with the world title, and that's what. How many times they defended? Like 8 times. Seven. He defended the title 7 times.
Demon broke that though, but it was with a different title.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the world title.
Yeah, the world title.
The world title.
Seven defenses, victories.
Yep.
You top that, you go to.
Just yeah, you goaded. Just don't summon Eagle's dog because he tends
Yeah.
to end shit. So that's all I gotta say.
Ego.
If you fly
Ego.
too close to the sun, he'll treat you like Icarus.
Ego
Basically,
is
fall in line or
ego
fall
is
in
definitely an
grace.
issue. Ego is definitely something to look out for. But once you enter the savage lands, you're in my territory. All right.
You already
You know
know
how
this
they
is
say. You
the
know they say
kingdom of violence.
on the seventh day God created the earth. On the 8th day, DMK became world champ.
Ooh.
On day, okay.
Hey, but check this out too though. Before God created the earth, what was there? Darkness.
Ooh.
And I'm the light that you see now.
We'll
Ooh.
see.
Hey, Demon X is the first and only superstar to retire a fucking title in GEW.
That's a
Because
fact too.
he defended
10
that bitch 10
defenses
motherfucking times.
and won.
Shit. I could keep going with this back and forth. Those are good accolades. I could keep
Nah,
going.
yeah,
That's
no.
why they call me out.
We can save it. We can save it
Yeah,
for
everyone
the
here
Discord.
is goaded in their own right. So you're gonna have
Yeah,
fun
we
here,
say,
bro.
yeah,
Let's
we'll
go.
have fun here, bro. I
Alright.
appreciate like
So
honestly, I appreciate you for coming through, and you're gonna have fun, like he said. Jay Smoke is here. We got Shockwave here. We got a couple people here that you probably cool with too.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna see them, and we all do storylines, and we all have fun here. And then A Dot, trust me, he puts on a good show, so you won't be disappointed. I promise you.
Hey,
well, y'all are giving.
Now I want to leave y'all with a closing real quick. Dime Bag.
Sure.
Next Fight Club, give me All Day DMK.
Ooh, you want Tommy Black?
No, we're gonna do DMK.
Oh,
If I'm
you
going
want
to
DMK?
GEW, if I'm doing GEW, I'm doing it right.
Oh shit!
Now
Oh,
be careful
Give
what
me
you
all-
wish for, though, because
oh,
people all around the
shit.
world,
Let's go.
always be asking, what does DMK stand for? When you step in that ring with me, DMK stands for don't mind killing. So watch your back.
Ooh,
I don't mind them.
let's
I don't
go.
mind. I don't mind doing the same. Cause I'ma
Let's
devour
go.
you like the animals I was raised with in the savage lands.
Well, you ain't never met an animal like me.
Let's
Oh,
go.
oh,
I'm
let's do
loving this
this.
shit. I'm
I
gonna
love
end
it.
up with a mink
I
after both
love
of
it.
them.
Let's go.
All
I
right,
love it
we
too.
got this. Let's end it. This shit is
Anyway,
going on 4 hours.
ladies and gentlemen, this was another episode of This and That, the podcast. Today was the all day exclusive with your man's All DMK.
All day, baby.
DMK, baby. You already know I'm your boy, Mr. Dimebag Dan, also known as Mr. 357, the Python. I was here tonight with the Demon King, Ego the Prince, and Savage fucking Vega. Also, Genie the Meanie Ja. You already know. Tune in for the next time. We out this bitch.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.